We do. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here this morning. We will begin our Labor, Public Employment, and Retirement Committee hearing for Wednesday, July 10th. And the first thing we will do is establish a quorum. Please call the roll.
Hill?
Here.
Hill here. Morrell? Jackson? Here. Jackson here. Mitchell? Pan? Here. Pan here.
Very good. We have established a quorum, and I do see Assemblymember Cholera here. But we will move to item number 2, AB 35. It's nice to see you this morning. Thank you, as always. Please proceed.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chair. AB 35 would improve how public health officials are made aware of and handle cases of lead poisoning among workers in California, and would help prevent repeated or prolonged incidents of lead poisoning in workplaces. Prolonged and repeated cases of lead poisoning are entirely preventable, but the protocols in place currently do not work. At this time, the Department of Public Health has discretion on when or whether it should refer cases of lead poisoning to Cal OSHA for indeterminate amounts of time before the issue is properly addressed. AB 35 is a common sense approach to help ensure that proper notifications and follow-up between DPH and Cal OSHA are made in order to protect present and future workers and their families. The bill simply requires Cal OSHA to investigate work sites that have workers with elevated blood lead levels upon receiving such reports from DPH. Worker safety should be paramount, not just to businesses, but also to the agencies tasked with protecting these workers. Respectfully ask for an aye vote. With me, I have Bill Aliud with the Environmental Working Group.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. Environmental Working Group is sponsoring the bill. This bill was already approved by the Health Committee, and it's an important bill to protect worker safety as well as families, because people carry lead dust home to their families, including children who are permanently affected by lead. I want to point out that the opposition, led by the Chamber of Commerce, has made a really good faith effort to provide an alternative to the bill, but it just doesn't work for a couple reasons. One is that what they're proposing is mostly already in pending regulations that Cal OSHA has, and Assemblymember Quirk has a bill to mandate those regs are adopted quickly in 2020. Secondly, their scheme is expensive. The problem is, get the cases over to Cal OSHA. That's what's failed to happen for the last 20 years, leading to dozens, if not hundreds, of lead-poisoned workers. So this is really simple. It says, get the lead cases over to Cal OSHA. They must open an investigation, have 6 months to do it. It doesn't lock out CDPH, the Office of Lead Poisoning Prevention program. They still can work collaboratively with Cal OSHA, figure out what's going on. Is it from a home occupation, stripping old lead paint, or is it more likely the workplace? And what do we do about that? Cal OSHA does have enforcement authority. The bill doesn't say use it. It just says open the case. They can cite someone, fine them if need be. But I believe our investigation shows that they work collaboratively with the employer too. They just don't come in heavy-handed and start fining people. But we think Cal OSHA is the right place to get these cases to a higher priority. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Other witnesses in support? Is Ms. Vega?
Caitlin Vega for the California Labor Federation here in support.
Very good. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, member Cesar Diaz on behalf of the State Building and Construction Trades Council in support.
Thank you very much. Others in support? Please come forward.
Pacheco, Communication Workers, America District 9 in support.
Thank you. Anyone else in support? Is there anyone here in opposition? Please come forward. No one here. Bring it back to the committee. Very good. We do have a motion. This is a very good bill. I mean, this is so timely, so needed and necessary to protect those workers and make sure that it's timely. And I think that's the key issue here. So I think it's wonderful. Thank you for bringing it forward today. Yes, Senator
I'll just make a brief remark. And I appreciate it was heard in Health Committee, and we passed it out. I think for the opposition, who I see has not come to present, I would challenge them, since I think I also chaired the Budget Subcommittee on Health and Human Services. I would encourage them also to come before the Budget Committee and ask for more funding for CDPH so that they can do more investigations themselves, and that's been a big issue as well. So that's why this bill is so important and we need it. But I appreciate also some help in trying to get more resources for CDPH. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Pan. I appreciate it. Would you like to close?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Senator Pan, for those comments. And I agree. I think we all agree that CDPH needs more resources. I do also think that this is a bill that's not necessarily one that should be looked at negatively from employers, because if they're able to identify issues earlier, it'll cost them a whole lot less than if issues are identified many, many years down the road. And they can mitigate quickly, take care of their workers, take care of their workplace, and work collaboratively with the state, both with Cal OSHA and CDPH. And with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
And thank you very much. I just have to just mention kind of a personal story. A very close personal friend developed, a plumber, actually, and developed some very serious mental, physical problems, didn't know what it was, and psychological problems, and it was diagnosed as lead poison from the work that he was doing with the lead in the business. So appreciate the bill. We do have a motion from Senator Jackson. Please call the roll.
The motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Morrell. Jackson.
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Mitchell. Pan.
Aye.
Pan, aye.
We have 3 votes. We'll hold the roll open for absent members. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Thanks.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. It's nice to see you this morning. We will now move to item number 1, AB 5. Assemblymember Gonzalez, please begin.
Thank you. And I want to start, before I start, by thanking your staff for the very thorough analysis of this bill. It was one of my more enjoyable experiences to read. It's always fun to read analysis. It is both factual and spicy.
That's very good. And if I could, I wanted to lay some ground rules for the hearing today. And there are 6 bills on the agenda. We're hoping to move along as quickly as possible. We'll ask the proponents of each bill to confine their remarks. And so what we're going to do is have 6 minutes for the supporters as a group and an opportunity, and then 6 minutes for those who are support if amended, and then 6 minutes for those who are in opposition to the legislation. And then we will certainly take and listen to all of those who may have who have come to express their thoughts on the bill and the Me Too, I guess, along those ways. So I appreciate you being here so
Thank
promptly.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. AB 5 is a new and innovative approach to addressing inequality and dignity in the workplace. It's been over a year since the California Supreme Court unanimously issued the landmark Dynamex decision against a delivery company that was misclassifying its drivers. Under the previous Borrello test, misclassification remained a widespread tactic used to exploit vulnerable workers in industries like construction, trucking, and delivery for decades. The Dynamex ruling was a moral proclamation by our state's highest court with a message that rang loud and clear: enough is enough. The state can't sit by while companies pass off their own cost of doing business onto taxpayers and responsible businesses while depriving millions of workers of the labor law protections that are so rightly entitled to. To give us a tool to counter this decades-old problem, the Supreme Court established, or as the analysis pointed out, pulled out the ABC test, as it is used in several other states and even in California previously under construction contracts to make clear who would be an employee and who would not. Our state legislature is the national leader in establishing the country's strongest worker protections: minimum wage and overtime, workers' compensation, paid sick days, the right to organize, workplace protections against discrimination and retaliation. But if companies can evade their simple obligation as just how they pay their employees, then none of these laws have any worth. By misclassifying their workers, these bad actors undermine the principle of fair competition and force businesses that actually follow the rules to shut their doors. Taxpayers shouldn't be ones left to shoulder the burden. The Labor Commissioner's Office estimates a loss of $7 billion in annual tax revenue because companies that misclassify workers force them to live with substandard wages and working conditions. To protect employees and legitimate independent contractors, AB 5 codifies the Dynamex decision and provides a uniform definition for how to determine employment status for all of our worker protection laws across the state's wage orders, the labor code, and the unemployment insurance code. While Dynamex is already the law of the land, the decision left some uncertainty for a wide range of industries. In response to these concerns, the bill also provides clarifications to ensure a number of professionals can continue to maintain their independent business operations under the previous Borrello standard. I will point out that I hadn't thought much about reincorporating the Borrello decision into this bill, and I think the analysis pointed out rightfully that we're going to have to review that in future years because it is still cloudy. By and large, the exempted professions under this bill tend to operate with significant autonomy and bargaining power in their workplace and have historically existed outside traditional wage orders. In other words, most of these folks make over twice the minimum wage, which is our standard in existing law for individuals to be exempted from overtime and meal and rest period requirements. The exempted professions include physicians, dentists, podiatrists, insurance agents, financial advisors, direct sellers, real estate licensees, repossession agents, hairstylists, barbers, electrologists, and estheticians, individuals who act as small businesses providing professional services that require a license in law, dentistry, architecture, engineering, veterinary medicine, private investigation, and accounting, or require an advanced degree involving a study of marketing or human resource administration. Graphic designers, fine artists, grant writers, and freelance writers who make a limited amount of contributions to a given year to any publication. These are the exemptions that after today will be added to the bill. Under AB 5, we've also clarified that a business can contract with another business given that the hiring entity can demonstrate that the service provider meets specific criteria proving that they are truly acting as an independent business entity. In other words, the business-to-business exemption. AB 5 continues to be a work in progress. We realize there is still work to be done, and we will do so. We're committed to continuing our ongoing conversation with stakeholders that we've been meeting for months, and I'm sure we'll meet through the break. As our discussions move forward, though, I'd like for everyone to keep in mind the bigger picture and imagine the hard economic reality that working people are facing every day. We're operating in an economy where income inequality is growing, and it's growing every day. Too many workers lack the bargaining power to improve their working conditions, in part, frankly, because they lack the ability to unionize classification. People should not have to rely on emergency room for health care. They shouldn't have to do GoFundMe pages to finance their medical. I have a host of witnesses from labor, of course, and the business community here to testify, and we'll start.
Did you take a breath in that?
I came from appropriations. You know how I go
know
there.
you do. You move fast on that. Thank you for that.
I'm working on her delivery with the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll try to match.
So we will begin, and as I mentioned, we have 6 minutes for those in support.
Good morning,
Thank you.
and thank you for hearing my testimony. Karen Heisler, and I'm an owner of Mission Pie in San Francisco. We opened our bakery and restaurant in 2007, and from the outset, we've been really ambitious about compensation and benefits. We wanted to show that a business can be profitable and ethical. Mission Pie currently has 27 employees, offers health insurance, vacation pay, a public transit subsidy, a matching 401k, and competitive wages, even though nothing is competitive in San Francisco anymore. I am proud of our 12 years of viability in a state that values workers. It's a great privilege to operate a business in California, and the freedom to launch a vision comes with responsibilities that include abiding by laws and upholding standards of workplace workplace safety and security. So as the appetite for food delivery grew in recent years, we came upon the unhappy truth that the new sector of online food delivery apps has achieved a competitive advantage over restaurants like ours, in part by establishing a much lower cost of labor through misclassifying low-wage workers. For food delivery drivers are largely classified as contractors, not as employees, despite a protections, minimum wage, overtime, sick leave, and the dollars paid to them are not subject to payroll taxes or unemployment insurance. When we deliver a pie, our per employee cost includes a regulated hourly wage plus an additional 25 to 30%, which includes payroll tax, unemployment insurance, workers' comp, health insurance, and other benefits. These costs are our contribution to the safety net and contribute to the state budget as well. The food delivery apps are not contributing and not protecting workers. Some companies argue that if AB 5 were to pass, their very business model would be threatened. And to that I say, if you have a business model that intrinsically exploits workers and endows you with a competitive advantage based on shirking responsibilities and violating law, maybe you need to reevaluate that model. Can you imagine me standing here and saying my business model relies on paying below minimum wage and not paying payroll tax? You would tell me to go back to the drawing board, I would hope. So as lawmakers, from my point of view, you have a responsibility to hold us to the same standards and to host a climate in which competition is fair and innovation happens without sacrifice of those standards and of the people who count on them. I don't believe it's your intention to penalize businesses that live up to our responsibilities and to reward those that don't, but that's what's happening. Your yes vote on AB 5 will right that.
Thank you very much. And thank you for coming from San Francisco this morning. Very good. Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Chairman, committee members, my name is David Kinney. I'm with the Greater California Livery Association. We represent the 5,000 limousine and sedan operators in the state of California. And I'm here today to speak specifically on a couple of issues. Our industry, in regard to AB 5 here. Most of you may or may not know, we operate on a 24-hour day, 7 days a week business. There is no set schedule. We get a job, we offer it to a chauffeur, the chauffeur accepts or rejects that job, and they can provide the services or not provide the services. They have a lot of control over whether they work or not. Our chauffeurs, some work part-time, some work full-time. In the industry, 60 to 70% of all of the chauffeurs that work in this industry work on a part-time, as-needed basis. Think about your own travel plans. If you pick up the phone and you need a car to the airport, you're going to schedule it. You're going to call a company. That company is going to call a chauffeur and say, can you take care of this run, yes or no? So there's some things in the media and some things that some of the other opponents have been talking about in terms of flexibility. If I'm an employee, I lose my flexibility. In our industry, that is not the case because right now, they all have flexibility in deciding when they work and when they don't work. Some of our folks work a fixed schedule. A majority of them work on demand as we have business. Last week was 4th of July week. Very slow week in the entire industry. Most chauffeurs and drivers had very few hours last week. They could take the week off. They could work a little bit. Okay. There's other weeks that they have tons of demand and they still have the opportunity to decide, do they want to work or do they not want to work? Okay. So just the fact that our folks are employees, and all of them are employees, has nothing to do with their ability to choose to work or not work. I think that's a very important concept to understand here. The second issue, and we've talked forever about labor protections. You know, we pay minimum wage, we pay overtime, we have meal breaks, we have sick leave. You know, this body decided that we needed to pay 24 hours of sick leave. We pay for those things. The larger companies offer health benefits and 401k benefits. All of those come to a huge cost for us. Workers' comp, unemployment insurance, disability insurance, training issues, all of that. That cost to us is somewhere in the range of 30 to 40% of our labor costs. of course, we are competing against other individuals who don't pay any of those costs. So we have a field that is simply not level at all. Okay, but for those folks that are employees, there are a few things that are critically important that I think is missing from this debate. Number one, we have training. We train our people on how to do a good job. We train them on the safety issues, on how to operate a vehicle safely. Okay? We drug test every single one of our chauffeurs. Every single one of them is drug tested. We know if they've been drinking. We know if there's a drug issue. Okay? And then most importantly, we see and manage our employees. When they come to work, they pick up a vehicle, and we see what is their demeanor. Have they had a long night? Are they tired? Are they unsafe? We have the ability to influence whether these folks are on the road, taking care of all of you and your kids, okay, or not. So when someone is an employee in the transportation arena, okay, it's critical to make sure that we have that safety component in this. And as an employee, we have those safety things. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Ms. Vega, did you have one thing to say?
I'll just say Caitlin Vega for the California Labor Federation. We are the sponsors of the bill.
Very good. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming today and testifying on that. I really appreciated that. Is there anyone here now who is going to support if amended? I'm sorry, we're going to do full support first. Yes, very good. Thank you.
I just want to know, how good are the pies, though? I want to get. Did you bring any with you? No? Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry.
Mr. Chair, members, Cesar Diaz on behalf of the State Building and Construction Trades Council, and proud and strong support.
Very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Diaz. Those who are in support, if you'd like to line up, and we'd be happy and honored to hear you sharing your name and who you're with, who you're affiliated with, and whether you support the bill. Thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you. I'm Terry Bilkey. I'm from San Diego. I represent 500 drivers in San Diego, and we support AB 5.
Very good.
Thank you, Lorena.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Linda Valdivia, and I am with Mobile Workers Alliance in the city of Los Angeles. I work for Uber at this time, and I strongly support the AB 5 law.
Thank you.
My name is Mike Robinson, and I'm a Lyft driver and with Mobile Workers Alliance in Los Angeles. I strongly support AB 5.
Very good. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Orman. I'm from Los Angeles. I'm Uber and Lyft driver since 2012, and I'm supporting AB 5.
Manuel Ramos, pertenezco al grupo de Mobile World Alianza de Los Ángeles. Gracias.
Thank you very much, sir.
My name is Alexi Pack, Los Angeles, and I'm with Rideshare Drivers United, and I support AB 5. Thank you.
My name is Benjamin Valdez. I'm a representative of Rideshare Drivers United, and I strongly support this bill.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Mark Hennig, Local 378 Iron Workers, Oakland, California. We support the bill.
Thank you.
Alvaro Bolaines from Los Angeles. I represent Rideshare Drivers United, and I support AB 5.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Saint-Just, and I'm a member of Rideshare Drivers United, which is an organization of 5,000 members. We support AB 5, and I support AB 5 personally.
Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Christopher Moreno. I'm with Rideshare United, and I strongly support AB 5.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Omar Jensen. I fully support Mobile Alliance Worker.
Thank you for coming this morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Grace Mora, and I'm in support of AB 5. I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm also for stopping the incarceration without bars in our cars.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Luis. I'm from Los Angeles. I belong to Rideshare Drivers United. I support AB 5.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Vincent. I'm from LA. I'm with Rideshare Drivers United, and I support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Joe Arjunan. I'm with Rideshare Driver United. We came from Los Angeles. I support AB5.
Thank you for coming this morning.
My name is Ronnie Ambrosio from Los Angeles. I support AB5.
Good morning.
Hi, my name is Han Ying. It's come from the LA. It's with the rideshare drivers and like United. I support AB5.
Very thank you.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm from Los Angeles. I support the AB5. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jesse Arana from San Diego, CWA, Local 9509 in San Diego, and I support AB5 strongly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Jason Lindsay from the International Association of Bridge Structural Reinforcing and Ornamental Iron Workers, Local 378, and I am in support of AB5.
Thank you.
Glenn Branneman, Vacaville Teachers Association, in support of AB5.
Thank you for coming.
Good morning. Ken Miller, Iron Workers Local 378, and we are in support of AB5. Thank you.
Good morning. Deborah Chaplin with the State Building and Construction Trades Council. Definitely support AB5.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Steve Bender, Teamsters Local 853, Oakland, California, and I support AB5.
Thank you. Good morning.
Terry Pose, Pacifica, Teamsters Local 853, support.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Kristen Heidelbach, International Representative, Teamsters, representing our cannabis workers, and we support AB5.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Frank Huntington, Chairman of the Board of CALI, the California Association of Licensed Investigators. Thank you, Assemblyperson Gonzalez. We support AB5 as amended. Thank you.
One of you.
Chairman and members, John Norwood on behalf of the Independent Insurance Agents and Brokers of California and the California Association of Health Underwriters in support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Norwood.
Good morning. Sherry McHugh, representing the National Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors in support.
Thank you, Ms. McHugh.
Mike Dillon, California Veterinary Medical Association, in support as amended. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon.
G.V. Ayers with the California Association of Licensed Repossessors. Appreciate the amendments. We support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christopher Carlisle with the California Association of Realtors in support. Thank you.
Renee Bayardo, SAIU, California, support.
Mariko Yoshihara on behalf of the California Employment Lawyers Association in support.
Russ Butler on behalf of Teamsters Local 137. We do support it.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Joseph Aquilina on behalf of the Direct Selling Association. We'd like to express our strong support. We'd also like to express our appreciation to the author and to the committee for its consideration.
Appreciate you being here this morning. Good
Hi,
morning.
everyone. My name is Mustafa Maklad. I'm from San Francisco. I've been an Uber and Lyft driver for almost 4 years. We're here to support AB5 with a path to union. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Erica Maggetto, Lyft driver for 2.5 years here in Sacramento, just a few blocks away. I'm here in support of AB5 and the right to organize. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Hi, my name is Ann Glatt. I've been a Lyft driver for 4 years in the Bay Area and now in Sacramento, and I'm in support of AB5 and a path to unionship. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Jeff Burdian, Teamsters Local 386, and we are in favor of AB5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Emiliano Chavez, also with Local 386, and we support AB5.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir.
Larry Aguilar with ATU Local 1277 in support of AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning. Art Aguilar, President of Amalgamated TransUnion Local 1277 Los Angeles, also Chairman of the California Conference Board, which represents 13 other locals in this great state. And on behalf of my 13,000 members, we support AB5.
Thank you.
Chair Hill and Senators David Battle Hawkins with the CSU Employees Union in strong support. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here.
Good morning. Adam Ochoa, Principal Officer, Teamsters Local 948, and we are in full support of local AB5.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair and members, Matt Broad for the Teamsters Unite here, Machinists, ATU,
Inland Boatmen's Union, IFPTE Local 21 and 20, and the Consumer Attorneys in Support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Broad.
Stu Helfer, Northern California Teamsters Construction Committee in support.
Good morning.
Laura Garza from Teamsters 94A, and I support AB5.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Tim Parolini, Teamsters Local 948 trustee, in full support of AB5. Thanks.
Thank you.
Tim Thiel, Vice President, Local 948, AB5, as we support it all the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Lisa Scott, El Dorado County Home Care Workers. We support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Lorraine Livermore, Local 3930, in full support of AB5.
Thank you.
Hi, morning. Diana Vasquez with the California Environmental Justice Alliance. Full support of the bill. Thank you for the author for carrying this.
Thank you very much.
Sam Appel, Blue Green Alliance, strong support of the bill. Thanks.
Thank you.
Daniel Broad on behalf of Sierra Club California in support, also registering support for Earth Justice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Morning. Sergio Garcia, Teamsters Local 896, Brewery and Soft Drink, and I strongly support AB5.
Misty Tanner, Teamsters Local 137, Butte County, in full support of AB5.
Sandra Vega, Local 396, and I'm in support of AB5.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Kohler. I'm with Teamsters Local 896, and I fully support AB5 also. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Brian Indelicato, proud member of Teamsters Local 896, and I'm here in support of AB5.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Hello, my name is Bruce Dick. I'm a member of Teamsters Local 137. I fully support AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning, Joa Trang with the California Healthy Nail Salon Collaborative and WorkSafe. We support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Nicole Marquez, Senior Staff Attorney with WorkSafe, and I strongly support AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Tanya Walker, Local 896, Alameda County. I'm in full support, AB5.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Edwin Walker, Teamsters 896, and I fully support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, members, my name is David Castro with Teamsters Local 396, and I support AB5.
Thank you, Mr. Castro.
Morning, Jim Smith, Political Coordinator for Teamsters Local 396, and I support AB5.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith.
Good morning. Mike Valdez, Teamsters Local 396, and I'm in support of AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. Ruben Durant from Teamsters Local 396, and I'm here in support of AB5. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Alex Steffen. I'm with the Monterey Peninsula Taxi Workers Association. I want to thank you for taking the time. I'd like to remind you that this is also a consumer safety issue. Uber and Lyft hire 100,000 people.
Thank you,
They
sir.
use insufficient
Got it.
background checks. And what ends up happening is they end up hiring criminals. Over 50 women and
Thank you, sir.
children
Appreciate you
have
coming
been
today.
raped
You're
and
supportive
sexually
of the
assaulted
bill.
by Uber and Lyft drivers in California in the last 2 years.
Thank you.
And if you make them employees, they got to take responsibility for themselves. They have to screen them properly.
Sorry, your time is up, sir. Thank you. Got it. We hear you. Thank you.
Catherine.
Good morning.
Catherine Feaster on behalf of Legal Aid at Work and strong support.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Deborah Ward Crummy, Local 986, and I am in support. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Morning, Chairman and members. Daniel Johnston, Local 856, and I'm in support of AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name's Fred Wood, Teamster Local 986, in support of AB5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Tracy McCorkle, Teamsters 856, in support of AB5.
Good morning, all members. My name is Paul Dodge. I'm with Teamsters Local 856, and I support AB5.
Good morning. My name's John Lauren, Teamster Local 856, and I'm in support of AB5.
Hello, Mr. Chairman and members. My name's Dale Mitchell. I'm from Local 856, and I support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Greg Sullivan, Teamster Local 986, support of AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ralph Ortiz. I'm with Local 856, and I support AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, committee members. My name's John Johnson. I'm a Teamster out of Local 856, and I support AB 5.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of the committee, my name is Rudy Gonzalez from the San Francisco Labor Council, AFL-CIO, in strong support of AB 5.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Hello, my name is Robert Zamora from Teamster Local 601, and I support AB 5.
Thank you.
It's Martin Cortez from Local 601. I also support AB 5.
Thank you.
Steve Crummy, Teamster Local 856. I support AB 5.
Thank you very much.
Shanae Vaughn, Teamsters 856, and I support AB 5.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Mark Jones. I'm with Teamsters Local 856, and I support AB 5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lucero Torres. I'm Teamsters Local 856, and I support AB 5.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Abner Kishore, and I'm 856 Teamsters, and I support AB 5.
Very good. Thank you.
My name is Lauren Arnest, and I'm an intern at Teamsters 856, and I support AB 5.
Thank you.
Jazzy Grable on behalf of UFCW Western States Council and support. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Gilbert Davila, UFCW Local 324, Orange County, and we support AB 5. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Jason Chung, UFCW 1428, Claremont. We're here to support AB 05.
Thank you.
My name is Diane Hacker. I'm from Retail Clerks Union, Local 1428 in Claremont, California, and I'm here to support AB 5.
Thank you very much for coming.
Hello, Chair and members. My name is Ruben Bastillos. I'm from Teamsters Local 70, and I'm here to support AB 5.
Thank you, Mr. Steels.
Good morning. Gary Vargas, recent retiree, Teamsters Local 70, in support of AB 5.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hello, Jim Freed, Teamsters Local 70 Vice President, and we're in favor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and Committee. Rich Fierro, Teamsters Local 70, here in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Hello, Charles Scarano, Teamsters Local 70. I'm in support of Local AB 5.
Thank you.
Good morning. Glenn Andrade, Teamsters Local 70. I support AB 5.
Thank you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. John Cortezi, retiree, Teamsters Local 70, and I support AB 5.
Thank you.
Ignacio Ramirez, Local 70. I support AB 5.
Thank you.
Mike Craig, Teamsters Local 70, strong support of AB 5.
Thank you very much.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, and to the members. My name is Felix Martinez. I'm with Teamsters Local 70. I'm here in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
How you doing? Dino Renetti, Teamsters Local 70, support AB 5.
Thank you very much.
George Sims, Teamsters Local 70. I'm in support of AB 5.
Thank you very much, sir.
Jimmy Romero, I support AB 5, Local 70, Teamsters.
My name is Jose Aguilar, Teamster Local 70, and I support AB 5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. Jim Perkins, Local 70, support AB 5.
Thank you, sir.
Richard Torres with Chella in support.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John William Cowart, and I support AB 5. I'm from Local 70, and I also support AB 1400.
Thank you.
Jimmy Thiessen, Teamsters Local 315, in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Mike Hughes, business agent, Teamsters Local 315 out of Contra Costa County, and I support this bill.
Hi, my name is Madeline Dean. I'm the Communications Director for Teamsters 315, recent Emerge alum, and I support AB 5.
John Riley, Executive Director, Napa Solano Central Labor Council, solid support for AB 5.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Michael Arazo with Teamsters Local 2010, and we fully support AB 5.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alex Fermi. I'm with Teamsters Local 2010, and I'm here in support of AB 5, and I'm strongly in support of AB 5.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
Hi, my name is Do-hee Kim, and I'm from UC Berkeley, and I'm here to support AB 5. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Good morning, Sandra Barrero on behalf of the California School Employees Association in support.
Thank you.
Morning, Ron Walker, CSEA Chapter Orland 456, and we strongly support.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good morning, Kathleen Morrison, Willows Unified School District, CSEA President in support.
Thank you.
Good morning. Glenn Lovall of Iron Workers Union Local 378 in support of AB 5 and a more equitable California economy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Brittany Young, CSEA President, Chapter 480, and we support.
Thank you.
My name is Cynthia Allen. I'm a proud grandparent of public school students, and I'm in support.
Thank you.
My name is Jose Landaverde. I'm in support of AB 5, Iron Worker Local 378.
Thank you very much.
My name is Erica Murphy. I'm in support of AB 5, and I'm an iron worker with 378.
Thank you.
I'm Ed Robinson. I'm here for Local 378 Ironworkers, and I'm in support of AB 5.
Thank you very much.
I'm Tammy Robinson out of Colusa, California, and I'm in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Mark Billingsley, and I'm in support of AB 5. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
George Romero with the Cement Masons, Local 400, support with AB 5.
Thank you for coming today.
Veronica Sanchez, Auburn, Teamster Family, California School Employees Association, Family Support of AB 5.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Araceli. I'm a parent. I have a son with autistic, and I'm here for support.
Thank you.
My name is David Ortiz. I'm an organizer for Local 377, Iron Workers. I'm supporting AB 5.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Elisa Hardy, UFCW 8, Golden State, in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Good morning. Nicole Trujillo Rice, Political and Legislative Director of UFCW 8, in strong support of AB 5.
Thank you very much.
Amber Bauer, Executive Director, UFCW Western States Council, in strong support of AB 5.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Derek Steele, UFCW Local 8, in support of AB 5.
Thank you very much, Mr. Steele. Good morning.
Matt Kristoff, UFCW 8, in support of AB 5. Thanks.
Thank you.
Sean Raycraft, UFCW Local 8, in support of AB 5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephanie Brown, UFCW 8, in support of AB 5.
Thank you very much.
Paul Lowney, UFCW 8, in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Mary Virginia Watson, National Union of Healthcare Workers, in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Ryan Beeston, National Union of Healthcare Workers, in support.
Thank you.
Leon Garcia, Mayor, State of American Canyon, representing myself only. I support AB 5.
Thank you very much, sir.
Kevin Ferrer, Sacramento Sierra Building and Construction Trades Council. We're supportive of AB 5.
Thank you very much.
Dave Tafoya, Bricklayers, Tylers, Allied Crafts, Local 3, support AB 5.
Thank you.
Chris Graney with the Sacramento Sierra Building Trades Council, supporting AB 5.
Thank you very much.
Gary Piefer, Vice President, Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers, Northern California, here in support of AB 5 and ask you to do the same.
Thank you very much.
Beverly Lynn, ASME, Council 57, retiree, in support of AB 5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Claudio Douglas, Coalition of Black Trade Unions, President, in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Angela Wilmus, UFCW, and I support AB 5. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Claire Courtney, UFCW, in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Hello, Vivian Mosqueda from UFCW, and I'm here in support of AB 5.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Cole Anderson. I'm with UFCW, and I support AB 5.
Thank you.
Good morning. Ryan Snow, Teamsters Rail Conference, chairman here in California, also an Uber and Lyft user. I'm in support. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mike West, representing District Council 16, Painters and Allied Trades, in support.
Thank you, Mr. West.
Juan Cervantes, UFCW Local 5 from Salinas, California, and I support SB 5.
Thank you very much.
I'm Ryan McGilly. I'm with UFCW, and I'm in support of AB 5.
Thank you. Thanks for coming this morning.
Good morning. Tony Vargas, UFCW Local 5, San Francisco, support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Hello, Jessica Cry from UFCW 5, here to support AB 5.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Simone Williams, in support of AB 5, also with UFCW from Hayward.
Thank you.
Good morning. Jim Araby, UFCW 5, in support of AB 5.
Thank you for coming this morning.
Good morning. Nancy Anderson, UFCW 5, in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Bruce Lynn from UFCW, AB 5.
Thank you.
Megan Stanzak from UFCW, also in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
Good morning, Lindsay Mai Hong with the California Domestic Workers Coalition, as well as Hand in Hand, the Domestic Employers Network, in support of AB 5. Thank you.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Erika Chávez, soy trabajadora del hogar y soy de la colectiva de mujeres de San Francisco, California. Vivo y trabajo ahí. Estoy aquí para apoyar la resolución en favor de la AB5. En California, las trabajadoras del hogar hasta muy reciente han obtenido derechos laborales como es derecho al sobretiempo, la clasificación errónea de contratistas independientes nos perjudican porque ponen en riesgo perder los derechos laborales que tanto hemos luchado. Todas las trabajadoras del hogar merecen protección de leyes laborales. Gracias.
Thank you. Just to remind everyone, we're here just to say your name and the organization you're affiliated with, and if you support the measure, please.
Okay. Mi nombre es Lorena Carrillo, de la colectiva de mujeres. Soy trabajadora del hogar de la organización de la colectiva. Aquí estoy apoyando la resolución AB5. En California, las trabajadoras del hogar hasta muy reciente han obtenido derechos laborales como derechos a sobretiempo, la clasificación errónea de las contratistas independientes nos perjudica porque no pone en riesgo perder los derechos como laborales y tanto hemos luchado y todas las trabajadoras merecemos protección de la ley laboral en California. Gracias.
Thank you. That would be the last speaker that just state your name.
Hola, mi nombre es Blanca Marroquín. Pertenezco a la colectiva de mujeres y estoy a favor de la ley AB5.
Thank you.
Buenos días. Mi nombre es Ana Sarabia y soy de la colectiva de mujeres y vengo a apoyar la ley a la AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Sofia Salazar. I am a staff member of the California Domestic Workers Coalition, and I am here to support AB5.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Rocio Avila with the National Domestic Workers Alliance, here in support of AB5.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarah Jarman. I'm on the executive board of Jobs with Justice San Francisco, and I'm in favor of AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Nayantara Mehta with the National Employment Law Project, here in strong support of AB5.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lily Zhao. I'm from San Francisco. I was a Uber driver. My English is not good. Can I say some Mandarin? No.
Just your name.
Because last year, Uber passenger stole me, and Uber nothing do anything for me.
I understand.
So
Thank you, ma'am.
I support the AB5.
I appreciate that. Thank you for coming this morning. Thank you. You did great.
How are you? My name is Lin. I'm from Sacramento. I support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Hi, how are you? My name is Hui. Nice to find you, Sacramento. I support your AB5.
Thank you for coming this morning. Good morning.
Hello. My name is Zhenhui Li. I'm from San Francisco. I'm a Uber driver, so I support the AB5.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rosie Brown, and I'm a law student clerk with the Partnership for Working Families, and I strongly support AB5.
Thank you very much.
And I'm Jacqueline Aranga, also a summer law clerk at the Partnership for Working Families, and I strongly support AB5.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Consuela Mezcua. I'm a law school student at McGeorge School of Law, and I'm a fellow at the National Domestic Workers Alliance, and I'm here to support AB5.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. Ellie Matsumura with the California Partnership for Working Families, representing the East Bay Alliance for Sustainable Economy, Working Partnerships USA in Silicon Valley, the Central Coast Alliance for United for a Sustainable Economy, Los Angeles Alliance for a New Economy, Orange County Communities Organized for Responsible Development, Warehouse Workers Resource Center in the Inland Empire, and the Center on Policy Initiatives in San Diego. And we all strongly support AB5. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, good morning.
Good
My
morning.
name is Jing from Sacramento. I support ABC5.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Wu. I'm from Sacramento. I'm a Uber driver. I support AB5.
Very good.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Vanessa Rodriguez. I'm from Fresno. I'm a family childcare provider, and I'm in support of AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Deanna Robles from Southern California, Bone Park, California, childcare provider, and I'm in support of AB5.
Thank you for coming this morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I am Nika Nora Montenegro. I am representing APALA, the Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance, San Diego chapter. So we drive here to support, and all our APALA members also from other districts and counties are coming over to support AB5. I am also representing the United Domestic Workers of America, being the district chair of San Diego chapter. Thank you very much, and let's move on and
Thank you
have
very
this
much.
passed.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Erin Chu. I represent APALA, the Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance, San Diego chapter. So we drove here yesterday, and I totally support AB5.
Thank you. We appreciate your coming.
Good morning. My name is Maria Maya. I'm a UCLA student and part of Partnership for Working Families, and I strongly support AB5.
Thank you very much. Good
Mr.
morning.
Chair, members, Brian Nelson on behalf of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees in strong support of AB5.
Thank you very much. Mr. Paulson, are you ready?
Senators, Tim Paulson. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer of the San Francisco Building and Construction Trades Council. This is a priority bill, and it's a very historic bill. Thank you, former colleague Lorna, for Assembly member, for co-authoring this, and we support this fully.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paulson. Thank you for coming this morning. Good
Hello,
morning.
everyone. My name's Cameron Robbins. I'm a business agent for Local 3. Operator support AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'll try to make this quick, but basically I wrote this last night. All workers deserve job protections, minimum wage, workers' comp, unemployment insurance, and overtime.
I'm sorry, but just your name and
Tony Rodriguez
I
from
know,
Local
Chair.
483, and I ask you to please support.
Thank you very
AB5.
much. I appreciate it, Judge. Good to see you today. Thanks for coming. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Dan Torres. I'm a business agent for Sprinkler Fitters, Local 483. I represent over 1,200 men and women that install, test, and maintain life safety fire sprinkler systems, and I am in support of AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. Nick Goodwin, Assistant Business Manager for UA Local 159, Plumber Steam Fitters, Martinez, California, and I support AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning. Mike Layton, Executive Director for the California State Pipe Trades, in support of AB5.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Joseph Shelfo. I'm a business representative for the Sheet Metal Workers, Local 104. I represent thousands of members, and we're in support of AB5.
Thank you very much.
Morning, Rob Stoker, representing the 40,000 working men and women of the Building and Construction Trades Council of Alameda County, in strong support.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good morning.
Good morning. Keith Diaz, Sheet Metal Workers Local 104, and we're in strong support of AB5.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Matthew Labor Gonzalez, Liuna Labor's Local 89, and we are strong supporters.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Alfonso Sanchez, Local 89, San Diego, California, and we're supporting AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Jason Baez with Labor's International Union of North America, and we're in support of AB5.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming this morning.
Matt Henning, Vice President, Sailors Union of the Pacific, support AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning. Ryan Ruff, Bricklayers, Allied Craft Workers, Local 3, and we support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. Darren Compton with the Bricklayers, Local 3, Northern California, and we support AB5.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning.
Steve Espinoza, Bricklayers, Allied Craft Workers. We support AB5, and we hope you do too.
Thank you very much.
Mark Flubel, Heat and Frost Insulators, Local 16, support AB5. Thank you.
Thank you.
David Beeney here representing the 40,000 construction workers of the Santa Clara and San Benito Counties Building and Construction Trades Council in support of AB5.
Thank you very much.
Ed Reyes, Ironworkers Local 377, in support of AB5.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. Hello.
Julie Lind, I'm the head of the San Mateo Labor Council, here on behalf of our nearly 80,000 members to thank Assemblywoman Gonzalez for your championship and to urge your support of AB5. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lind. Good to see you. Thanks for coming today.
Aaron Burns with the Operating Engineers Local 3 in support of AB5.
Thank you.
Tony Garcia, Operating Engineers Local 3, in support of AB5.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Good morning.
Good morning. Michael Beck, Operating Engineers, San Francisco, San Mateo County. We support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lenny Wells, Local 431 Fresno, Teamsters Union, here to support AB5.
Thank you very much, sir.
Carlos Borba, on behalf of Teamsters Joint Council 7, we support AB5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dave Rodriguez, Teamsters Local 315, we support AB5.
Thank you.
Mike Dupre, CWA 9119, UPD 184, Vice Commander of the Veterans of Oakley, in support of AB5.
Thank you very much.
Jim Hawkridge, UPD CWA 9119, and I support AB5.
Thank you.
Paul Brooks, CWA up to 9119. We support AB5.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
UPD CWA Paula Berumen Peña. I support AB5.
Thank you.
Sarah Cohen, UPD CWA, Local 9119, in strong support of AB5.
Hi, I'm Sonia Moscardon, UPD CWA 9119, and I'm from San Francisco, and I support AB5. Thank you.
Good morning. Adam Wood, San Francisco Firefighters, Local 798. San Francisco Firefighters support AB5.
Nadine Perucane, ASME Retirees of California. I support AB5. We support AB5, and we hope you do too.
Good morning, Michael Nye, California Alliance for Retired Americans, the organization to which you should all aspire at some point in your lives.
Looking forward to it.
And we, thank you, Hannah. And we support AB5, and we trust that you will too.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thomas Blanks, California Teacher Association, Mount Diablo Unified School District Association, retired now, and still supporting working people, women, men, supporting their families. That happens in the community. Those are the parents of our students. Those are
Thank you very much, sir.
subsequently
Appreciate
our-
you coming this morning. Thank you.
We support AB5.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning, Steve Older. I'm president of the Contra Costa Labor Council, representing 80,000 80,000 union members in the county. Also a machinist union rep, and full support of AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Brian Feely. Sit on the executive council of the Contra Costa Labor Council. I'm also a business rep for the Machinist Union District 190 in Concord, California. And I support AB5, and I hope that you all too have the courage to support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Dave Masson, retired letter carrier from San Francisco, NALC Branch 214, in support of AB5. Employees can have flexible schedules too.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good morning. My name is Michael Inman. I'm at a local 378 Iron Workers, striving to retire one day. Hopefully I'll make it there. We did my apprenticeship in 118 Sacramento, and I work out of San Francisco. And 377, 378, and 118 all support AB5. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Kurt McCourtney. I'm one of the top Lyft drivers in all of Lyft. I do more rides than any Lyft driver, period. I came up from Los Angeles today on behalf of thousands of Lyft drivers who support strongly AB5 and the labor protections that it will afford. And if you have any questions for me, I'll be glad to stay behind. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi there, I'm Jeff Otter, a constituent of Dr. Pan's and a former member of UAW 2865 and CSEA, and I'm very strongly in favor of AB. Oh, also of a former, 1099 worker. That was awful. So I'm strongly in support of AB5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Antonio Garcia, and I'm from Teamsters Local 87, and I support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Brian Prendez. I'm Teamsters Local 87, and I support AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Joseph Sumlin. I'm from Teamsters Local 87, and I support AB5.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello. My name is Carla Jabbar, and I'm with Teamsters Local 87, and I support AB5.
Very good. Thank you very much. Good morning.
John Morales, Local 87. I'm in support of AB 5.
Thank you.
I'm super short. Hi, my name is Maria. I'm here with United Domestic Workers, Local 3930, and I'm here in support of AB 5.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. Good morning.
Mi nombre es Rosa. Apoyo el bill ABC. Venimos de UW. Gracias.
Thank you for coming.
Rosanna Perez, United Domestic Workers, AFSCME, Local 3930, and we are here in support of AB 5. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning. Joanne Betancourt, representing the Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association, in strong support.
Thank you.
Good morning. Diane McCarty with United Domestic Workers Union, Local 3930. And
Thank you.
my sister, we're in support of SB.
Thank you very
Hi,
much.
my name is Donis and United Workers.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Dana Short. I'm with Sutter County, Local 3930, United Domestic Workers, in support of AB 5.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Emmeline Mathis, UDW, AFSCME, Local 3930, in strong support.
Thank you.
Malik Bynum, UDW, AFSCME 3930, here in support.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. Jose Gutierrez, Mobile Workers Alliance, support AB 5.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Ana Ramos, and I'm here with the Workers Alliance, and I support to AB 5.
Thank you.
Refugio Lara, for Mobile Workers Alliance, I support AB 5 and Union.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. Alicia Ortiz, Mobile Workers Alliance, AB 5 and Union.
Thank you.
My name is Maria Mercado. We need a support for AB 5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beatrice Kaizakian, I'm here from Mobile Alliance, and I'm here to support AB 5.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ma'am.
My name is Clara Mendez, Mobile Workers Alliance en Unión. El AB5. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Veronica Macias, and I apoyo a Mobile Worker Alliance, and I support AB 5.
Perfect. Thank you.
Greetings, good people of this honorable chamber. My name is Luke Rivera. I've drove for Uber and Lyft for the last 3 years while I was studying at UC Berkeley. And we need protections. These guys, since I've been working for them, they have been just squeezing the drivers, taking more money from us.
And you're here to support AB 5.
I'm here to support AB 5.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Thanks for coming today.
Art Persicote, retired Teamsters, Local 85. Every worker deserves rights on the job. I'm at the other end of the scale. I have a lot of privilege because I have a pension. I have all the rights of a union member, and everybody deserves that.
Thank
yes,
you
on
very
AB
much.
5.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Maria Guillen. I'm from San Francisco, representing Jobs with Justice, and I do support AB 5 wholeheartedly.
Thank you very much.
Hi,
Good
my
morning.
name is Raquel Parra, and on behalf of Courage Campaign and our 1.4 million members, we support AB 5.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrea Rodriguez, OPEIU, Local 29, formerly Local 3, in support of AB 5.
Thank you very much. Good
Good
morning.
afternoon. Connie Ford from the San Francisco Labor Council and Jobs with Justice, and we strongly support AB 5.
Thank you.
Yash Bazian, I'm Uber and Lyft driver, and I support AB 5.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, my name is Carlo Garibay. I was one of the first 20 drivers when Lyft started back in 2012. I support AB 5 in a path to union. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Morning. My name's Test. My name's Christopher Ariano. I'm from San Bruno. I've voted for you a few times, Senator Hill.
Thank you.
I'm here today for complete support of AB 5 and a pathway to union. And thanks for your help on the PG&E thing back then.
Thank you very much, and I needed those votes. Appreciate it. Good morning.
Thank you. My name is Alfredo de Lima. I'm from San Francisco. I'm here for support AB 5.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Ali, and I'm a Sacramento driver.
and I support AB5.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. Good morning, sir.
Hi, I'm Edward Escobar. I'm the founder of the Alliance for Independent Workers. It's the national and international Drivers Unite movement. Truckers as well are impacted by this. Uber and Lyft drivers, all app-based drivers, were railing against the tech titans of Silicon Valley. We're in support of AB5.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Carrie Sanders. I'm an Uber and Lyft driver, and I'm here in support of AB5 and a path to a union.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Minda Guhab. I am a full-time Lyft and Uber driver, and I recently learned that I get paid under $2 an hour. I sometimes pay to drive Lyft 30 to 60 hours a week. The spreadsheet's on my Twitter at Daily Lyft. You'll see it up top. I'm here. Thank you for Gig Workers Rising for bringing us here 5:30 in the morning, and I very, very much support AB5.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming this morning.
Thanks.
Appreciate you being here.
Hi, my name's Susan Walker. I'm a lifelong California resident, and I appreciate the Capitol taking the opportunity to change labor to capital. We're done with them making money off our backs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan Spencer with the California Podiatric Medical Association. I'd like to thank the author for the amendments today and the inclusion of podiatrists. Thank you, and we support the bill.
Thank you very much.
Glenn Schaller from the Monterey Bay Central Labor Council. We cover Santa Cruz and Monterey counties, 80 unions, about 38,000 working families, and strongly in support of AB5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ariadna Morales with Working Partnerships USA, and I'm here to support AB5.
Thank you. Good morning.
Vanessa Bain, I'm a gig worker in Silicon Valley. I'm here in support of AB5 with Gig Workers Rising. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Ezekiel O'Brien from Berkeley, and I'm here in support of AB5 and a path to a union, and I'm with Gig Workers Rising, and thank you guys all for being here to listen to us.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Steve Gregg. I am a Lyft driver in San Francisco. I'm also an organizer with Gig Workers Rising. I'm here to support AB5 and a path to a union. We need you guys.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Taylor. I am a Lyft and Uber driver in Sacramento. I am in support of AB5 because in Sacramento, the maximum profit you can make is $9.45 an hour, because the per mile rate is literally the federal deduction, so there is
Thank you, ma'am.
no profit anymore.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Gary Branson. I'm a Uber driver in San Francisco. I'm here to support AB5 because even driving at San Francisco rates, I'm still forced to live out of my car because I can't afford rent.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming this morning. Good morning.
Hello, my name is Frida Cassidy Schaeser. My father is a Lyft driver, and I am in support of AB5.
Thank you very much.
Jenya Cassidy, California Work and Family Coalition, in support of AB5.
Thank you very much for coming this morning.
My name is Ken Kent. I'm an elementary teacher in Antioch, Title I. Supporting AB5 will support the families in my community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mi nombre es Rafael Rosales y apoyo la ABC5.
Thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Daniel Camacho, trabajo para Lyft, para Uber y estoy ganando menos de $10 la hora, por eso apoyo la AB5. Gracias.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amado Alarcón. I'm a Uber driver from Los Angeles. I'm supporting AB5 and Union.
Thank you.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Aurora Granados y yo apoyo la AB5 y la Unión.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Hola, mi nombre es Dulce y apoyo al Mobile Workers Alliance en Unión.
Thank you.
Mi nombre es Mirna Díaz y apoyo la AB5 y a la Unión.
Mi nombre es Carmita Mengíbar, apoyo la ABC5.
Thank you.
Mi nombre es André Felipe Gaviria, vengo desde Orange County a soportar la AB5.
Good morning. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tony. I'm coming out of the San Gabriel Valley area. I'm here to support AB5 and union and driver security, driver's protection.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Raúl Barrera y yo apoyo la AB5 y a la Unión.
Thank you very much.
Aaron Rodriguez with Union and Concerned Scientists in strong support.
Thank you.
My name is Gracia Oganesian. I am from LA, Uber driver. I'm here for AB5 and the union.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Viraj Mirijanyan, Uber driver. Can you support AB5 union?
Thank you.
Morning. Arsen and Ejan, here to support AB5 and the union, Mobile Workers Alliance. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
My name is J.K. Bartzian. I'm Uber driver. I'm support the AB5 and union. Thank you.
Mi nombre es Fidel Flores y apoyo la AB5 y la Unión.
Oh, thank you.
Mi nombre es Juan Salgado y les venimos a decir que nos apoyen con la AB5 y la Unión. Gracias.
Hi, my name is Josephine Flattery. I'm here supporting AB5 union. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Marisela Flores y vengo apoyando la alianza de la Unión de los Trabajadores AB5.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Magdalena Avitia, vengo apoyando a los trabajadores de ABC5 y la Unión. Gracias.
Mi nombre es Claudia Bolaños y vengo apoyando a Alianza de Trabajadores Móviles AB5, una unión. Gracias.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Carlos Rivas y venimos representando a trabajadores móviles y estamos apoyando también a AB5 y una unión. Espero que ustedes también. Gracias.
Thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Rosalinda Rivas y vengo apoyando la AB5 y les pido que nos ayuden igual, que nos apoyen. Gracias.
Sorry. Good afternoon. My name is Arely Martinez. I'm here today with Mobile Workers Alliance, and I am in support of AB5, and I hope you are too, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Treston Scholl, Vice President of Labor's Local 324, and I support Yes on 5. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Eddie with Labor's Local 1309 Long Beach, Southern California. We support AB5. We hope you do as well.
Thank you very much.
Hi, good morning. My name is Isabella Seven. I work for and WAG, and I'm in support of AB5 as well as a union.
Thank you very much.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Buenos días, soy Rafael Garibay, vengo de Whittier, ando apoyando la AB85 y le pido su apoyo. Gracias.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Leonardo Diaz, and I work for Uber and Lyft, and I support AB5 and the union. If you don't support us, next level going to be homeless.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ivan Salinas. I'm a student at Cal State Northridge, and I'm in support of AB5 and a union. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Squally Hunter, and I work for Uber and Lyft, and I'm in support of AB5 and the forming of a labor union. Please.
Thank you very much.
Buenos días. Trabajo para McDonald's y estoy en apoyo de los conductores de AB5 y pedimos su apoyo de unión también. Okay? Gracias.
Thank you.
Sí, buenas tardes. Soy el señor Ángel Pineda. Yo también vengo a apoyar la AB5 para que haya un mejor trato. Gracias.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Alex Yassini, and I do work for Uber and Lyft. I do support AB5 and a union, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Sean Bland from Ventura. I drive Lyft, DoorDash, and Postmates, and I support AB5 and unions. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Hi, how are you? My name is Geronimo Siegel. I represent drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft from Palm Springs, California, and I am supporting the AB5 and union. Thank you for
Thank you very much.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es América y vengo apoyando la ley AB5. Gracias por su apoyo.
Thank you.
Muy buenos días, mi nombre es Alejandro Cañas y vengo apoyando la ley AB5 González y muchas gracias por escucharnos.
Thank you for coming this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm William Romualdo, and I come to looking for support for my union. Is Mobile Workers Alliance, and the union. I work for Lyft and Uber.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Alvarado, and I'm here to support AB5 and the union. God bless you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Gabriel. I came to support my father. Thank you.
Thank you. And AB5, I'm
Mi
sure.
nombre es Marcos Juárez y vengo apoyando la B5. Gracias.
Thank you.
Hello, mi nombre es Jorge Altamirano, soy driver de Uber y vengo en el apoyo de la AB5 Union.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarai Flores. I'm here in support of AB5 and a union because Uber and Lyft drivers deserve respect and able to work with dignity.
Thank you very much.
Mi nombre es Genoveva Altamirano y vengo a que pueden soportar al AB5 y a la Unión.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Saul Melendez. I am approved the IB5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Antonio Sanchez on behalf of our 12,000 IBW Local 11 members in LA County. We ask for your support.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Selena Durrell. I'm a former union carpenter and currently with Tradeswomen Incorporated, Trades Inc. out of Oakland, California. I support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Roger Dean, Local 9431, Communication Workers of America. We support the bill.
Thank you. Good morning.
Sean Heap with CDA Local 9400 in support of the bill.
Thank you.
Art Valor, I'm supporting AB5 for Laguna Labor's Union. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jose Garcia, and I'm here with Labor's International Union of North America, and we are supporting AB5.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garcia.
Good morning. Danny Zaragoza with Laguna in support of AB5.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Danny Bernardini, Napa and Solano Building Trades, representing 19 union affiliates of Napa and Solano County, and urging you to support this bill.
Thank you very much.
Greg Hardiman with the Elevator Constructors International Union, and we support AB5.
Thank you.
Morning, Ryan Lang, IUEC Local 8, San Francisco. We support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Del Garner, Elevator Constructors Union, Local 8. We support AB5.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Megan Subers on behalf of the California Professional Firefighters in support.
Thank you.
Morning. I'm Daleman Clark at IBW Local 340. We support the bill.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Mariana Batiste, SEIU, support of AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning, Nicole Christian, SEIU Local 10-1, and we overwhelmingly support AB5.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Evelyn Corial, Executive Board 10-1, SMTA employee, support AB5.
Thank you.
John Chaban, SEIU Local 10-1, 55,000 members in California. Thank you for supporting AB5.
Thank you very much.
SEIU 1021, Gesner Azer. Thank you for supporting AB5.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. Good morning.
Hi, Stephanie Robles, Painters and Allied Trades, and we support this bill.
Thank you.
Robert Smith, Painters and Allied Trades. We support AB5. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Good morning.
Hi, I'm Lisa Chu with Asian Americans Advancing Justice, California, in strong support of AB5.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Michael Weinberg from SEIU Local 10-1 in support of AB5.
Thank you.
Ryan Fettis, SEIU Local 10-1, lifelong California native, strongly support AB5.
Thank you.
I'm Bob Ackerman on behalf of the Radiology Pathology and support.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ackerman. Good morning.
Good morning. Efrain Lopez with Labor's Union and support of SB5.
Thank you.
Afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Alberto Tarico on behalf of the Applicant Attorneys Association in support.
Thank you very much. Mr. Pulaski.
Chairman Hill, members of the committee, Art Pulaski, California Labor Federation. There are about 150 people outside. The fire department is asked to hold off. I think you've got the message, though. We'll keep them for another day. I support the bill. Thank you very much.
Mr. Pulaski.
Mr. Chair, members, Tim Madden, representing the California chapter of the American College of Emergency Physicians, in support.
Thank you, Mr. Madden. Good morning.
Mr. Chair and members, Brandon Marchi with the California Medical Association in support, and want to thank the author for the conversations.
Thank you very much. Very good. Thank you. We will now, I understand there are people outside, but we will move now to support if amended. If we could do that. And we appreciate all of those who have come and that were not able to speak. Their voices have been heard, and we appreciate them coming from around California to make the point today. It's very important and very special that they did that, and we appreciate it. So, those who are here for amended, supporting if amended, please make yourselves comfortable, and we will have 6 minutes for that, please. Thank you.
It's on? No, there we go. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. Jennifer Barrera on behalf of the California Chamber of Commerce, and we are a supportive amended position. We find ourselves in a very interesting position on this issue, specifically with AB 5. I can't even begin to explain or give you a full appreciation of how significant the Dynamex decision was, not just for the businesses who utilize independent contractors, but for those individuals who perform work as independent contractors. In one day, over 30 years of a standard that existed under the Borrello decision was completely changed. And it was done in a decision that one day you're under Borrello and literally the next day you're now under the ABC test. And for people to even appreciate and understand what that happened, it's still ongoing. We started this discussion over a year ago, and at that time I knew that we had no idea of what this decision was, and even sitting here today I can tell you that I still don't know what the full impact of that decision is, as people are just now learning and understanding the change that happened as a result of the Dynamex decision. So been around the gig economy, and they certainly are a part of this discussion and should be a part of this discussion, but there are so many other professions and businesses who are impacted as a result of this decision beyond that, which is why it's so significant. And so we find ourselves in a supportive amended position because in AB 5, it's codifying the decision that came down, the ABC test, and putting it into the labor code. It's a little bit broader in the sense that it's applicable for the entire labor code and the entire unemployment insurance code, right? So it's broader than what the Dynamex decision was, which was limited to the wage orders. But then it also has these exemptions in there that we are supportive of. They have the exemptions in there that it's not a true exemption in the fact that it just gives you statutory statement of independent contractor status, but it reverts you back to the Borrello model, which I agree needs to be worked on, as that is not a great model for anybody either. And those industries have traditionally and historically been independent contractors, and they don't have a high risk of misclassification in those industries or professions, and so AB 5 provides them with an opportunity to maintain that status and continue on kind of work as normal. We still have concerns, though, because as mentioned by the proponents, there is still a lot of work to do on AB 5 to get it to a point where we believe that it kind of creates that balance between protecting individuals from misclassification, but still allowing businesses to retain services of independent contractors and still allowing those who actually want to perform work as independent contractors to maintain that status. Some of the exemptions that we look forward to working on are broadening the professional exemption. So there are many more professionals than those already listed in the AB 5 and even in the amended version who have advanced degrees, who have occupational licenses from the state, who operate as professionals and should maintain that same status if they choose to as independent contractors. The business-to-business language that was a part of the proposed and mocked-up version today, we appreciate that that's the initial part of the opening discussion, I feel like, on this, and it's placeholder language, but it certainly needs, from our perspective, some revisions and tweaks to make sure that it creates that appropriate balance between allowing a business to utilize independent contractor services for those needs that they have to support their business and protecting, again, workers against misclassification. I can say when the Dynamex decision came out, I think it was not thought of that this would apply to business contracts. It was really looking at a contract between a hiring entity and an individual performing a service, not two legitimate businesses who contract together. And so trying to find that balance of how we protect that contracting versus the individual and hiring entity is another challenge. Subcontracting, again, sometimes you can't always plan for the unexpected, and you need an opportunity to staff up and make sure that you have enough workers to perform the work, and allowing that to happen. Maybe that's a part of the business-to-business discussion, but there needs to be some work done on that. And then retroactivity is a huge piece of this that needs to be dealt with as well. Again, the decision changed overnight, and it was prospective for sure, but then there's been this issue of retroactivity where businesses are being held retroactively liable for a standard they never knew existed. 4 years is the statute of limitations that you get to go back for unpaid wages. And so it puts businesses in a very unfair situation who were following the Borrello standard. That was what the labor commissioner told them to do. That's what every case was telling them to do. And now they're being held liable for not following the ABC standard that never came up or never existed. One last final point, and then I'll turn over my remaining time. The industries, obviously, that are needing to be a part of this discussion, the gig economy, the transportation, I disagree with the notion that you can have the same level of flexibility as an employee as you can as an independent contractor. I think it comes down to who makes the decision over your schedule. As an independent contractor, you get to make that decision. When you're an employee, you hand over that decision-making to the employer. And so I just think, yes, that there are some flexibility that maybe our labor laws provide, provide, but certainly there's a disincentive financially and even like with regards to some of the application of the law that just makes it unlikely that you can provide that same flexibility. So we disagree with that. And then I will say that a lot of the reasons why you don't see benefits being offered, certainly in the gig economy, but in other independent contractor models, is because the current laws do not allow for it. If you start going down that line where you're offering benefit and protections, you then mess up the line of independent contractor status versus employee, and it makes it confusing. So for those reasons, we have a supportive amended position. And
thank you very much. We have limited time, so
I can be very brief. My
thank
name is
you.
John Lathman, the General Counsel for Rubber.com, and Rubber connects pet owners with pet sitters and pet walkers. We have 27,000 independent contractors in California. They work an average of 16 times a year for an average of about $1,300 a year. They are truly the mascot for what should be an independent contractor relationship. Right now, we worked in 2016 with the state of California on a bill, SB 945, authored by Senator Monning, which gave us an exemption for people watching 3 or fewer dogs in homes to preserve home pet care. And we're looking again to preserve home pet care by having this exemption from AB 5 as amended.
Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Melody Saunders, and I am a Lyft driver. I've been a Lyft driver for 3 years. In 2016, I was married. I have a small business that was great in a dual income household. I got breast cancer. My husband decided he didn't want to deal with my health stuff. He divorced me and sold my car. So I tried to find a second job so that I could buy a car and get housing. It was really hard to convince Starbucks to let me come in whenever I felt like it based on my studio hours, because they didn't understand that there was a 30-year business that I fostered and that I didn't want to give up just because of my situation. A friend told me about Lyft. They have a rental car program. I could extol the virtues of Lyft, but I think we understand that it's a great company and it provides a great community service. I live in downtown Sacramento, but I have the ability, I made a choice to be an independent contractor so I could work around the hours I needed. And I have a great apartment downtown. I'm in an entirely different place, and it's because Lyft provided that flexibility with being an independent contractor. I could not find a job working as a waitress or anything else that would allow me to work when I needed to. And again, it's the choice that I made. And I understand that, there's some things that need to be discussed, and that employee protection is very important, and Lyft is working on this. Lyft is very open. They have great bonus platforms. I make an average of $19 to $26 an hour. Lyft is very great about guiding us to being the best drivers that we can be. And I hope that you guys, I hope the panel, the committee will take a no vote on AB 5 until some other points can be ironed out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here today and the comments. Presentation of those that are supporting, if amended. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward in a Me Too position to the microphone and kind of give us your name and your position on the bill?
Yeah, my name is Joe Bernice. I'm 71 years old. I am considered a senior citizen. So in the real world out there, there's this new concept. It's called ageism. I see a couple of people here with gray hair. Go out and try to find a job right now with gray hair, because they're going to say to you, "You've done this before?" "No." "You have any experience in this?" "No." "Sorry." This is one of the few jobs that people in my community, senior citizens, can go out and be effective on and maintain their house and their lifestyle.
Okay, so thank you. I did hear you're supporting this if it's amended. Is that clear?
I think the whole thing should be repealed.
Okay. I thank you very much. Thanks for coming today.
Mr. Chairman and members, Carl London here today representing two groups that are in a supportive amended position, and we've spoken with the author's office, your staff as well. One is the Recording Industry Association of America. This is basically the record companies, music industry, and everybody talks about the gig economy. This is the original gig economy. This is where the term gig came from. We have many instances where this decision is not a good fit. We're discussing these actively with the author and your staff, and look forward to trying to resolve something during the upcoming summer recess. Secondly, California Physical Therapy Association, like many of the healthcare professionals that are already in the the bill today, we're looking at a similar situation.
Thank you, Mr. London.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Chris McKaylee on behalf of the Computing Technology Industry Association, California Forestry Association, and California Ambulance Association. Support if amended.
Thank you very much.
Chair, members Alex Hawthorne with the California Hospital Association, also in a support if amended position, particularly around the healthcare professional issue. Look forward to continuing to work on that.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Amy Benavides, and I'm currently a freelance interpreter and translator. I'm certified by the Judicial Council of California and also the administrative offices of the U.S. Courts as a federally certified interpreter. And I'm here representing myself as well as the National Association of Judiciary Interpreters and Translators as chair of the board of directors. We're in a position of support if amended to include the profession of interpreters and translators. We are a well-paid profession, highly skilled profession, and are not included in the current list of professions that are excluded, and we would like to be excluded as well.
Thank you very much. We could have used your services a little while ago.
That's
Thank
true.
you.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just ask
Yes,
a quick
of course.
question. Is it appropriate for me to assume that the support if amends are largely if their profession would be excluded from the bill? Because folks are saying the support if amended, but I don't have
I
the
think
sense
the
of the
position is
amendments.
that it's either for an exemption or to fit into or within the business-to-business relationships that we're
Got
talking
it.
about.
Thank you.
Yes. My name is Madeline Newman Rios. I am here for the Association of Independent Judicial Interpreters of California. I am also state and federally certified as a court interpreter, and I am also certified as an ATA translator. And we have been in communication with Ms. Gonzalez's office, and I have a written.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, I have a written, and we are aware that we have seen press reports saying that Ms. Gonzalez would consider excluding us from 27.
We will have those conversations later.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You'd like some amendments, and we will be looking at
We
those.
would like,
Thank you for the
yes, she
comment.
said in the press that she was going to, but she didn't include us today.
We'll look at that. Thank you. Appreciate you coming this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Jennifer Navarrete with Maya Interpreters and also support if amended.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good
Ms.
morning. Jamie Kahn with the Associated General Contractors. I think we've made some progress, but we still need to deal with the haulers for the construction industry. But we appreciate what you've done so far. Support. if
Thank you
amended.
very much, Ms. Kahn.
Good morning. My name is Jesus Rivera. I'm a certified interpreter, federally certified, and also by California. I am vice president of the Association of Independent Judicial Interpreters of California, and we are requesting that we be exempted from AB 5 as a separate profession that
I
has been.
understand. Thank you very
in
much.
Itself. And may I turn this in?
You could certainly give it to the sergeant. Be happy to share that. Thank you. Good morning, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Diane Embry, and in addition to being the president of the California Coalition of Travel Organizations, I've been a travel agent for 42 years, the last 12 of which as an independent contractor by choice. And as such, I'm here in support of AB 5 if it is amended to preserve the existence of independent travel agents, most of whom are women entrepreneurs.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Betsy Geiser. I'm representing the California Coalition of Travel Organizations and the American Society of Travel Advisors. I'm in support of AB 5 if amended for independent contractors, for travel agents that choose to operate their business as an independent contractor. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Charlie Ray with the California Construction and Industrial Materials Association, and we support if amended.
Thank you.
Kim Stone, Stone Advocacy, on behalf of the Civil Justice Association of California as part of the Chamber's Support if Amended Coalition.
Thank you.
California Chamber of Commerce, support if amended.
Thank you.
Matthew Harger with the California Business Properties Association. We too align our comments with the Cal Chamber. Support if amended. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good morning.
Wendy Cochran, licensed esthetician, and we appreciate your adding the estheticians and electrologists to this bill. But we also feel that all BBC licensees in good standing should be included in this language. More than a quarter of the populations of licensed
Thank you, ma'am.
estheticians in
Appreciate it. You'd like
California
some amendments on
are
the
dual
bill.
licensed
Appreciate it.
as
Thank you.
manicurists.
Jamie Schrabeck, PhD, licensed manicurist since 1992 and an owner of an employee-based salon in Carmel, California. Please do not isolate and penalize manicurists for their choice of license.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Jim Ewart with the California News Publishers Association. It's no secret that the newspaper industry is facing significant challenges, and Dynamex poses an additional challenge to us. It threatens the community newspapers as we know them now. We've been working with the Assemblywoman on language to try to address the freelancer issue and the distribution issue, and we support if that language is amended in the bill. Thank you.
Fred Jones, Professional Beauty Federation of California. Appreciate in the mock-up that you've extended to other license categories. Just one technical issue. It references hairstylist. There is no license category called hairstylist, so we do need to address cosmetology.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair and members, Amanda Levy with the California Psychological Association. We represent graduate students, psych assistants, and psychologists. We're one of the many mental health professions you'll see who are also seeking an exemption, much like the other healing arts professionals have already received an exemption. We hope to work with the author and amend this bill.
Thank you very much.
Marissa Gonzalez here on behalf of the National Association of Social Workers, echoing similar to Ms. Levy regarding our mental health therapists in an exemption as well. Thank you.
Samaya Nahar with the California Association of Marriage and Family Therapists. We also have a supportive amended position and looking forward to work with the author. Thank you so
very
much.
G.V. Ayers with the California Association for Licensed Professional Clinical Counselors. I testified on behalf of another client earlier there, but I'd like to associate we'd like to associate ourselves with the comments made by our colleagues, the mental health colleagues just before us, the three, and we seek an exemption regarding licensed professional clinical counselors and mental health workers.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Hi, I'm Pam McClammy, and I support LIFT, and I'd like to say yes on the bill AB5, or amendment of the independence and flexibility.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hello, my name is David Watkins. I drive for Lyft, and I would like to say yes on AB 85 for the flexibility also.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Penny Bottomley, and I'm in support of amending the bill that's currently on the desk.
Thank you very much.
Morning. My name is Micah Robertson. I'm also in support of saying yes if the bill's amended for a driver of Uber and quite a few other platforms itself.
Thank you.
No problem.
Good morning.
My name is Lynn, and I also support the Lyft and the flexibility.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rachel Hudson. I drive for Lyft and DoorDash. I support the bill if amended to protect my independence and flexibility.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
My name is Tiffany Young. I drive for Lyft. I would like to support the bill if there are amendments that protect my flexibility as well.
Thank you very much for coming.
My name is Derek Timmons. I drive for Lyft. I'm in support of the bill if it protects our rights as independence and flexibility.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Keith Garlow, and I drive for Lyft, and I support the bill if amended that protects our flexibility and independence.
Thank you very much for coming.
Good morning, and thank you for your patience in allowing us to speak. My name is Jan Kruger. I am a 5.5-year part-time Lyft driver, and I do support this bill if it is amended to allow me to maintain my flexibility to be part-time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Chris Hoyt. I'm a 5-year Lyft driver. I will support the bill if it maintains my flexibility and I'm able to do what I continue to do to support my family.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming this morning. Good morning, sir.
Morning. My name is David Rivera, a.k.a. Sacramento's Taxi Dave. I'm an independent, self-employed cab driver who leases his cab. Been a cab driver for 10 years, and I'm for the bill as long as we get amendments for independent contractors, because we're true independent contractors. So we have to go out and get our business. We have our own book of business that we build through relationships, which is the nature of the independent contractor.
Very good.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. My name is Ashwani Ari. I've been a taxi driver in San Francisco for the last 31 years, and I'm a true independent contractor. Please amend the bill to let me keep doing my business. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Shafi Shalizi.
from Los Angeles Yellow Cab, speaking on behalf of almost a couple of thousands of my colleagues in Los Angeles. We support the bill only if amended to protect our independent status. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Carlos Cordova. I'm from LA, Yellow Cab and Fiesta Taxi. I've been working as a cab driver for 15 years, and I would like to keep doing independent contractor. If you guys can pass the bill,
very good.
I
Thank
would
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. My name is Karandeep, and I'm from San Jose, Yellow Cab driver. I've been driving since the last 20 years, and I support my flexibility and independent as a contractor.
And you'd like some amendments, and you're supporting. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Jennifer Tannehill with Aaron Reed and Associates. I have 3 clients today. Support if amended. The Taxi Cab Paratransit Association of California. You just heard from the drivers. Also, the California Society for Respiratory Care. The respiratory therapists provide care in home and contract with hospitals. And then also the enrolled agents. They are governed by the Department of the Treasury and provide their tax specialists, but they might be able to be taken care of with a clear business-to-business exemption. So we'll be keeping our eye on that.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ann Woods, I'm a small business owner. 15 years ago, I left my corporate career and I opened a small business in my community. I went with a franchise because I wanted a proven model. I built that business client by client. I survived the Great Recession. This bill makes me an employee of my franchisor and wipes out my business. That business is my 401k.
Thank you.
Tina Williams. I am a small business owner. I also have a franchise, and we support with the amendment to continue to be a small business owner.
Nicole Rogers. I am also a small business owner, and I support the bill if amendment for small business franchising.
Rachel French with Express Employment Professionals. We're in support of the bill with the amendment for small business that own a franchise. We, as mentioned, this is our livelihood, and we help many people in our communities, and we would love to continue doing that. Thank you.
Good morning, Jennifer Smith with Express Employment Professionals. We do support the bill with the amendment for small business franchises. Thank you.
Hi, Mike Robeson here. I'm actually not in support if amended or support or oppose. I really just, it was really a lot of the folks who came in under support if amended talking about flexibility in the workforce. So I'm here on behalf of the California Staffing Professionals, which is a flexible work arrangement situation. And I really just want to say, and it kind of goes to the people who testified at the very front end of this, the California Staffing Professionals provide work in a flexible manner in the same way as the original testifiers testified to, that people can take it, the workers can take assignments if they want them. They don't have to take them. They can work. They can set their own hours. They work in a competitive environment, and they're competing against people who do not necessarily abide by all the labor laws. And so we really just, whatever happens with this bill going forward, amendments to this bill, we just want to ensure a level playing field for businesses that are abiding by the rules. And that's what the California Staffing Professionals do, and just encourage that to be in the back of your heads. Thank you.
Any more support if amended? And those opposed? Come on up. Opposed, come on up. 6 minutes each. Total, I mean. Sorry. Give or take a few. Hit it.
Good morning, members. Matt Roman with the California Trucking Association. We're here opposed unless amended on the bill. But we would like to thank the author for all the work she's done on this and her recognition for the need for a solution for owner-operators as we move forward, and we look forward to having those. With me today is Tian Tran, who is an owner-operator and owns TCAM Trucking. I'll turn the rest of my time over to him.
Thank you.
Good morning, members. My name is Tian Tran. I am a heavy commercial truck owner-operator. I oppose AB 5 unless it is amended so that legitimate owner-operators like me can continue to be allowed to obtain work from other trucking companies. I'm only one of thousands of owner-operators working in California. I believe that we live in a state that promotes entrepreneurship, and that's what I was doing when I chose to put my savings and credit on a commercial truck to start my own small business. I've invested over $200,000 to start my business. I'm very happy that I did. I am CARB compliant. I pay taxes to the state. I was able to purchase a home in the Bay Area after 5 years in construction trucking. Being an owner-operator allows me time to spend with my family and saves me a lot of unwanted stress. I love being an owner-operator. I am not tied down to any one company or entity. If I feel like a trucking company is not doing right by me, I can just take my business to another. If I were an employee, I would not be able to pick the jobs I go on. I would make less money and lose everything I put into my business. I understand that the state wants to protect truckers from bad trucking companies, but you should know that thousands of legitimate owner-operators want to remain and have earned that right. It is unfathomable to think that the state would force them out of business. If AB 5 is not amended, this will hurt me and my family dearly. Please help me and those like me to save our business. Thank you.
Mr. Chair and members, Courtney Jensen with TechNet. TechNet is in an oppose unless amended position. Given that AB 5 does not currently contemplate TechNet's members' concerns related to the on-demand economy workers. I have to make it very clear we are not opposed to the determination that has been made for some industries currently in AB 5, but we are just asking for the same attention to our unique needs and a table to discuss how to balance worker flexibility with a new weekly net earnings floor, a driver association, and benefits, including workers' compensation. To quote the recent LA Times editorial board article, both sides are partly right. On-demand workers need more protection than they're getting now, and it's shameful that lawmakers have left key questions about workers' rights to the courts. But it's a risky fantasy to pretend that on-demand workers can be reclassified by companies like Lyft and Postmates as employees and continue to wield the control they crave over their hours and duties. It just won't happen. We look forward to continuing to work with the author and appreciate the collaborative nature of discussions thus far with stakeholders involved. Specifically for gig economy companies that provide rides or food delivery, to date there have been numerous discussions between TechNet member companies and labor. Hours and hours and hours of discussions to find a new model that fits the new economy. We are not asking to go back before the Dynamex decision. What we are asking for is the ability to create a solution that includes worker-determined, legally protected benefits to provide security and modern labor protections. Part of this conversation is also around the development of an association for independent contractors to provide a voice in the decisions that impact their work. All sides agree that we need to strengthen and expand the safety net for on-demand workers, but this will not amount to results unless the legislature and administration act this year. TechNet's member companies are committed to continuing the hard work with labor and all stakeholders to find the path forward. Also, for other on-demand companies, while thoughtful, the May 24th amendments to AB 5, which include exemptions for beauty service professionals and other professional services, leave out professionals that utilize on-demand platforms to provide these services. For specialized skill platforms that offer on-demand services such as beauty, home improvement, moving, small tasks, putting together that IKEA dresser that you need, AB 5 currently creates additional barriers by requiring an undefined permit for independent beauty professionals and for other professionals requiring a business license. These requirements may prevent professionals from being able to serve customers through these platforms. We hope the legislature will acknowledge the opportunity to extend worker protections while continuing to allow for flexibility that workers enjoy. Technology has enabled a new form of work that gives thousands of Californians the opportunity to work flexibly, to earn supplemental income after decades of wage stagnation, build their businesses, and to ease the impact of income volatility. Innovation has supported many workers and their families, as well as grocery stores and restaurants and other small businesses that would be otherwise economically threatened. We believe California is uniquely positioned to look toward the future and create a model for the nation if we continue to collaborate together to find a modern approach. We are committed to continuing the hard work that has been done thus far and work with the legislature, administration, author, labor, and stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you. One question. You mentioned early on in your testimony about workers' compensation. Were you talking about how do you define that?
We're still working through the details, and that's what we're asking for. We're asking for a table to come together to hammer out the details. It's been talked about in news articles that have been put out.
In workers' compensation, were you referring to the state programs of workers' compensation as officially defined or some hybrid form?
That's something that's still being discussed.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Others in opposition?
Please bear with me a little bit. Legitimate truck owner-operators net over 5 times minimum wage after all expenses. They're busy working today because much of the work is seasonal. Thousands of legitimate. Pardon me, Debbie. I'm sorry, Debbie Ferrari. Thousands of legitimate truck owner-operators don't have a voice because they don't understand that soon their livelihoods would be taken away because they're no longer allowed to work for trucking firms as standard. They don't want to be employees. They've earned the right to have their own business. We've made an excellent case as to what a trucking exemption should look like. It's based on pure fact, documentation, statistics, and decades of knowledge and research. It takes care of all the problems that supporters of AB5 have pointed out, and any argument to our exemption is strictly anecdotal. There are no cases of abuse, whereas our rules were followed. It's unbelievable this is happening in a free society, imposed unless amended for legitimate truckers.
Thank you, Ms. Ferrari. And that did conclude now the official 6-minute opposition. So everyone else will be a name and your position and your affiliation.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Sean Lewis, National Federation of Independent Business, representing small business owners, really emphasizing the industry-by-industry exemption process doesn't do enough for small business. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair and members, Anthony Molina on behalf of the Association of California Egg Farmers, the California Grain and Feed Association, the Almond Alliance, and the Family Business Association of California, oppose unless amended and echo the same comments as the California Trucking Association. Thank you.
I'm a trucker of over 50 years. I have 35 years as an independent contractor, and I oppose AB5 unless it has a carve-out for the
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
My name is Tony Fleming from STI Trucking, and I oppose AB5.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Pat McDonald, Salamone Trucking, and past president of the National Association of Women in Construction. And we are on the stance of owner-operators deserve to be owner-operators.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name's Catherine Rigi. I own a small trucking construction company, and I oppose AB5 because I think independent truckers, especially ones that are legitimate with motor carrier permits,
Thank you, ma'am.
should have the right to
Appreciate it.
work.
Thank you.
I'm Gustavo De Leon. I'm an owner-operator from Foster City, California. I oppose to
Thank you.
AB5.
Thank you for coming this morning.
I'm Jose Flores. I'm an owner-operator from Dixon, California, and I oppose to all.
Thank you.
Good morning. Tim Shorter with Hanson and Atkins Auto Transport, Western Regional Manager. I oppose unless amended to address owner-operators.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. Andres Monroy. I'm an owner-operator with Hanson Atkins, and I oppose for AB5.
Very good. Thank you very much. Are there others here in opposition? Very good. Thank you.
My name is Agustin Leos Jr. I oppose AB5 unless amended. I'm a heavy-duty truck owner-operator.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming this morning. Thank you.
I am Agustin Leos, and I oppose. I am a truck owner-operator unless AB5 is amended to address.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming. Good morning, sir.
Jan Singh. I am independent contractor. I oppose unless amended.
Thank you.
I'm commercial driver, owner-operator. I oppose unless amended.
Thank you.
The commercial driver, long time.
Thank you.
I'm Tom Davis. I work for a small transportation company. I oppose AB5 unless amended for trucking industry.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Joe Carrasco with a small trucking company here in the local area. I oppose AB 5 and here in support of the CTA and also independent contractors. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Joe Rakovets, Western States Trucking Association, Upland, California. We are opposed unless amended.
Very good. Thank you very much for coming.
Weston LeBar, Harbor Trucking Association, and we are opposed unless amended to have a business-to-business exemption.
Thank you.
Josh Santoro Transportation. We are opposed.
Thank you.
Pradeep Singh. I oppose unless amendment.
Thank you very much.
My name is Harjeet Singh Sandhu, and I oppose unless amended.
Thank you.
Parmail Singh, the independent trucking linkway. So I oppose unless amended.
Thank you very much for coming. Good morning.
My name is Baljit Singh. I'm a owner-operator, independent contractor, and I oppose amendments 85.
Hi, my name is Raman Singh, and from North American Punjabi Trucking Association, and I oppose AB 5 unless it's amended for trucking industry.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming today. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Anna Millings-Pang. I'm here to support trucking owner-operators. I'm opposed to AB 5 unless amended.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. Good morning, sir.
I am Dennis Van Der. I oppose AB 5 unless amended to support owner-operator truckers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gurpal Singh. I run GS Trucking in the Bay Area. I oppose AB 85 unless it's amending in trucking.
Thank you very much.
Tony Allegro with Frank C. Allegro Trucking. I oppose AB 5 unless amended for trucking. The Dynamex decision.
Thank you, sir. We understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Appreciate
you coming.
Leo Serrato, work with LS Trucking, and here in support of the owner-operators.
Very good. Thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jesse Escalante, LS Trucking. I oppose AB 5 unless amended. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Anderson Allegri, and I oppose AB 5 unless amended for trucking.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hi, this is Kumar. So I oppose unless amended.
Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate your testimony.
Hi, my name is Amarpal Shergill. I oppose this unless amended this law.
Thank you for coming this morning.
I have same thing this guy too.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tejas Singh. I'm a owner-operator for commercial driver, and I oppose this law until amended.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jakpal Singh. I am a trucking owner-operator. I am opposed unless AB 5 is amendment to support owner-operator trucking.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Satvir. So I oppose unless amended.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
I'm a Gurvinder Singh, man. I'm a truck operator, commercial. I oppose 5 unless amended.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jaswinder. I'm a heavy commercial driver, so I amend it until amended.
Thank you. I appreciate your coming this morning. Thank you.
I am Indrajit Singh Bans. I am commercial owner operator. I am opposed to AB 5 amendment.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ranjit Gill. I'm independent for 30 years. I oppose until this amended.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Matt Lowe. I oppose unless amended to support owner-operators in trucking.
Thank you very much.
Looks like I met Dave Butler on behalf of the United Chamber Advocacy Network, a coalition of local chambers of commerce here in the Sacramento marketplace. Opposed unless amended. We appreciate the broader business exemption, but are also concerned about the retroactivity.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. Good morning.
Thank you, Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Todd Blumstein for the Southern California Contractors Association. Opposed on the construction trucking issue. Opposed unless amended on the construction issue.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Others in opposition? Seeing no one. Bringing it back to the committee. Very good. Thank you. Any questions or comments of starting? Senator Pan. Please speak.
Yeah, thank you, and I want to thank you, Senator Gonzalez, for bringing this bill forward because it's this bill certainly a follow-up to the Dynamex decision, but certainly is a very important bill to have a very serious conversation and about our society and nature of work. And we've decided here in our country to actually tie a lot of our social supports for people through employment. Right, you get your health insurance through your employer. You workers' compensation. A whole set of things are tied to employment. Slightly different in some other countries where they've decided it comes through government or socialized in other ways. And so when people are misclassified, and I appreciate the folks saying, well, we want flexibility, et cetera, and maybe one should talk about, in terms of the overall structure, but fundamentally, if someone's not considered an employee and they're an independent contractor, it's not simply, it's a difference, a huge difference. And basically, the independent contractor, depending on the situation, really loses not just, loses a lot of the social supports. And actually, in many ways, what happens is that because we've decided in our country that it comes through employment, you're really on your own, and because for all the talk about how much government does, we don't provide a whole lot of backup for folks who are who run their own businesses in that way, and so the issue of misclassification is a very significant one. I know this is a very challenging. I appreciate what you said in your opening because not only, of course, we have Dynamex, the old Barillo decision really created a lot of lack of clarity, and I've seen many situations, actually including professionals, who you really step back and say, I've had some personal experience, not directly myself, but with people I know, where it's like that really should be more of that they really should be an employee. And the employer is kind of like, well, I can get away with not having to pay, and someone who actually is part of a small business and knows that you see all those different lines, employment insurance, et cetera, they don't have to pay those things. And like, well, why don't you be an independent contractor? But yet the situation that you're in is that they say, well, you get to pick your own hours, except you don't. But you can only do the things in my, you're an independent contractor, but you're in my setting. We only have certain hours, so you better work those hours. If you don't generate a certain amount to pay for the overhead, et cetera, then you're in a much, so it's a sort of false sense of independence and a false sense of flexibility. So, and I appreciate what you said. This is still a work in progress because this is such a big thing and so forth. I think we've heard from some folks here who, we'll have I'm sure you know much more than I do about trying to work it out. For example, some of the independent truckers, I think maybe, et cetera, we've heard, et cetera. And again, there's many others who came up and said, but I think we have to be very careful too about it. We have to be very careful. And in some ways, I would say is that, and I appreciate that some people are saying, well, be Barillo, but also I appreciate what you said that Barillo itself is not a really good. It was the pre-existing standard, but there were a lot of problems with it, and that we need to continue to move that conversation forward for the quote exempted people. We're not done with that work either. So I appreciate you taking on this challenge. I'll be supporting the bill. In fact, I'll move it when appropriate. And so recognizing this is a work in progress, but there's also a lot of work that has been. But we really need to be sure people are not misclassified. We need to be sure that people have the protections of employment. And I think that's something that's really fundamental to America and the way we decide to do certain policies. So I appreciate you bringing this bill forward and want to see that discussion continue. And actually, I know that many and be sure that we protect people as well. I would probably make one just brief comment about retrospective, because I understand the whole the issue that was brought up about, well, we thought was one set of rules and the rules changed on us. I would I got that. I hear that. I also want to be sure though is that there were people who exploited the old rules who probably knew and so we'll have to figure that out because it is still, you knew what one rules were and you tried to take advantage of them. But there are some things in the gray zone, even with the old rules, that we still might want to be sure we're not allowing, just saying, well, just because we have new rules, we're going to let you get away with operating in the gray zone in the old rules. But I do think we have to look carefully at the retrospectivity just in terms of fairness. But thank you so much for bringing this forward. And maybe you can just comment on, we heard from the independent truckers, and I'm sure you've had a lot, and there are other people wanting exemptions and so forth, and where we are with some of those discussions.
Would you like to do that in your close?
I can do it. We can do that close. Okay, that would be fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
Maybe other issues coming up. Thank you,
All right,
Senator Penn. Vice Chair Morrell.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I had two corporations, two California corporations where I had independent contractors. One was a real estate company and another was a lending company. But, I kind of grew up with a lot of people. Birds of a feather flock together. So I had a lot of my friends were independent contractors or business owners. And, when I first got started, it was literally out of my house, and I would buy furniture as I made money and store it in a garage to like my own business. And so, the goal was to start off small and hope to become a larger company. And eventually I was fortunate our company grew. And this would, how do you get off the ground with this kind of a situation? Not everybody, as you think, businesses are trying to, screw people, right? There's a lot of businesses, Dr. Pan. And so anyway, mine was one of them. We had people that didn't make very much money because they didn't work very hard. And we had other people, one guy made as much as $300,000 just because he hustled on commissions and stuff. And so I think it's going to be a blow to our economy. I don't know how new businesses are going to get started and be able to come up when again, most small businesses start on a shoestring. Matter of fact, that most of your internet companies, your big ones, started in garages. But, I think about all the carve-outs and that kind of thing, like truckers, for an example. I remember reading a thing from the Hoover Institute that 78% of our goods and services are moved in through truckers, food, cars, and that kind of thing. So that's going to be, probably those costs are going to be passed on to the consumers, would be my bet. But anyway, here's a question for you. There's a saying that I like, and I think all politicians should follow this, and it's opportunity for all and favoritism towards none. And so with all these carve-outs, you are picking winners and losers. So can you walk me through the process, why you're doing it that way, and how you process who wins and who loses? Who gets favoritism and who loses out?
First of all, it's not, that's kind of offensive, to be honest. These are long-standing. That's great, but these are long-standing exemptions that currently are in the labor code under wage orders or unemployment insurance. You talked about being in real estate. We already have debated these in this hall. I'm not sitting around saying, I kind of like my real estate agent. I think I'll exempt her.
Well, you're doing carve-outs for dogs too.
I have no carve-out for dogs. I'm not really sure what you're talking about. No, in fact, I think the pet owner wants, or the pet sitter wants a carve-out.
So is he going to get favoritism or lose out on opportunity?
First of all, favoritism, we are abiding by. If you read the analysis, it's very clear, in fact, and I think sometimes my brain doesn't work as clearly as when other people can write, and I felt like it clearly talked about what the court talked about in Dynamics, why we need certain things don't fit into Dynamics, and that makes sense, and we're going through that. But a lot of it has to do with individual leverage of the worker themselves. Now, Dr. Pan brought up a great point in that even with individual leverage, we're misclassifying some folks. But we're starting with people that, number one, taxpayers aren't going to have to support. We recently, last year, in fact, we passed earned income tax credit for independent contractors. That means you and me are supporting the fact that there are independent contractors out there who can't make ends meet. So we as taxpayers are doing the job of the businesses that should just be paying those workers correctly. So the carve-outs at this point were things that have been debated in these halls, passed in these halls, written up, the labor commissioner, and they can be found now in certain wage orders. We started with that. There are other areas areas they're coming to, and we're going through a litany of ways to suggest. We're trying to write things in that have never been written in. We have policies that don't make sense with each other. For example, if you are an exempt employee in California, salary exempt employee, we don't worry about your meal breaks and your rest breaks. We don't worry about overtime, but you have to make twice the minimum wage. And yet our Borrello test never talks about twice the minimum wage, even though we know you're giving up the right to overtime and meal breaks and rest breaks. That's something that was kind of missing. We're trying to put that in. If somebody is making twice the minimum wage, we're less worried that the state is having to subsidize them. However, I'm not sure that that's quite enough, but those are the types of factors that we're looking at. Are you truly your own business? It's offensive to believe that most small businesses start off by misclassifying people because, I come from an immigrant community with a lot of small businesses, and they actually, very small businesses, and they actually, abide by the law of having employees. And so I'm not sure why we would say that most businesses start with misclassification. Our starting point is that we, as the state, should not be subsidizing the role of employers who aren't following the law. We're also ensuring that the workers themselves have the ability to set their rates, to have control over their lives, to negotiate fairly. These were all things considered when these exemptions were originally made, either in the Unemployment Insurance Code or the Workers' Compensation Code or in the wage orders to begin with. So that's what we're starting with. I'm not sitting there thinking, yeah, I like you, I don't like you.
That's what it sounds like, because, again,
that's
how do you choose between favoritism? Why are some... again, the question, you have not answered it clearly enough.
Okay, I will bring you every code section that already exempts these workers. I'm not choosing them. They were chosen by our predecessors. That's in labor law to exist with. This is not something I came up with. Now, we're facing new industries that we've never seen before, and yes, we do kind of have to look at those and say, do they fit more into this or do they fit more into this? But we're choosing people. We're not playing favoritism. If you are self-sufficient, if you are truly self-sufficient and you're making enough money that you can provide your own benefits, we worry about you less. And Dynamex says that. The reasoning behind the court decision is if I just allow anyone, if we allow anyone to say, well, I want to be an independent contractor, what's going to happen is they will replace all the work employees. Because, of course, an employer would rather have less cost and do things cheaper. Of course. We can't allow people to just say, well, I want to be an independent contractor, or we'll never have a social contract in this state that as Dr. Pan issued, it's one that we've decided on, that the employer provides these things. The state, on the other hand, provides a safety net. And what we're doing now is we're burdening taxpayers with a safety net for not just little companies, but huge corporations that are not paying their fair share.
Your own words. One lady said, we used to be a free society, right? And so what you're saying, we decide. That is a loss of a free society, and that is a step towards despotism.
Oh my gosh!
Government depends.
We're a democracy, and we are elected to make laws to govern California. At least that's why I'm elected, and that is how a democracy works. And so I think people realize we're going to make some laws.
You decide who gives carve-outs and who doesn't.
Well, that's our legislative process, I suppose so. Yes.
I'll be a no, by the way.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Senator Pan.
Thank you, and through the chair. First of all, I should probably, since my name was referred to earlier, and I certainly have tremendous respect for my colleague who started his own small businesses, that I too have started small businesses, and in the process of doing that, have not found that it's necessary to that actually I certainly don't see how AB 5 would have inhibited the beginning of those businesses. So I just, because that was brought up. And I think people can start businesses, and they will start businesses with AB 5. Certainly, Dynamex has been the site, so it's actually already the law. So AB 5 is actually clarifying some very important points as well. And as a small business owner, it can be difficult. You are the last one to get paid. You have to meet payroll. I certainly understand that as a small business owner. And actually, you can set working conditions of the people who work for you, and that's why they're your employees. And that's why we have to be sure people are, because you want to be sure your employees are taken care of. And if you have something you need an independent contractor for, they should be independent. So I think this clarifies this, And with that, certainly I again appreciate you bringing this bill forward, but I felt like I need to clarify some points that I made earlier. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Pan. First, I want to just thank you for taking on this major task. It's extraordinary. I mean, there's a tremendous need for clarity, as we know. I mean, we've seen that, and in business, we know that it exists, and we know the challenges that are faced with that. And I'll certainly be voting for the bill today, but because the bill provides some clarity already, and certainly for certain industries, a little more than others, and something. Always beats nothing as we have, but at least it's a start in the legislation. But there really is a lot of work that I think we need to do and continue it. I've been a little frustrated that it's been moving a little slower than I think we'd all like. But sometimes, a deadline forces people to take a little quicker and to make sure that we get there, and that's important. I want to make one thing clear: we're not able in this bill to address every single individual who has reached out to the legislature for some solution. I think that's clear. We're not going to see that in the legislation. Some of these folks are outside the scope of the legislation and do not need special treatment. Like boxing promoters, they don't need that. And for some of the folks asking for help were breaking the law under Borrello. Clearly breaking the law, let alone under Dynamex, and I won't help anyone continue to break the law. That's not our job, and that's certainly not what we're elected to do here. But that said, there are a lot of companies and workers that need our assistance in clarifying the law. We heard that by those, and I know the author made those comments as well. First, I think the business-to-business language needs further clarification. As noted in the analysis, when a contractor works for a client and when a contractor is working with another contractor or a business, it's not always clear when that applies. And I think we need to do that. Without clarification, entire industries that we have never considered as problematic, like advertising and program management, will be out in the cold. Additionally, if a business uses contractors for client services as an ancillary piece of its total business, or the business serves as an intermediary between the contractor and client, it's not clear why we would need to exclude those businesses from the business-to-business language. Second, I'm concerned about the wage provisions in both the salon and in the business-to-business provisions. I understand the temptation to ensure that contractors are charging 2 times the minimum wage for their clients, for their rates. However, and you had talked about this as well, but however, by definition, the client or booth landlord cannot control what rates are charged, nor can they control the working conditions, including how long a contractor works. Otherwise, the contractor would then be an employee. So this places a client kind of in an impossible position of becoming an employer either accidentally or through factors they could not control. If you're guaranteeing a certain wage, you're saying, that's the wage, then doesn't that fit into the definition? So that may have to be worked on somehow to see how that would apply. So I would encourage to remove that language with the next set of amendments. And third, this bill goes far beyond the Dynamex decision when it comes to labor intermediaries. As noted in the analysis, if you have true rate setting and control over your work conditions, it's hard to argue that you are not an independent contractor. Much like referrals between attorneys, there needs to be a space for folks to be able to list and bid their services with appropriate controls and protections. And I know that not all the companies are the same. Some, due to the lack of rate settings, are misclassifying their workers. There's no question about it. For companies like TaskRabbit and Rover, however, who do allow for true rate setting, I think they should be included in AB5. And fourth, one topic that has not been discussed much with AB5 is workers' compensation. This bill begins the process of bringing workers' compensation into the Dynamex space and sphere, and I'm glad and happy to see that. But we cannot have a system where workers are covered by wage and hour law, but not by workers' compensation law. That said, we can't apply workers' compensation law on January 1st as we can with wage and hour law. Employers, insurers, and third-party administrators need time to adjust their systems, as we know, and make sure that they are not exposed to unknown or retroactive risk. I think we can get there relatively easily, but it's important that we implement the law over time, and it's neither abrupt nor retroactive in that. And the fifth item, and another frequently discussed topic, is the TNCs and taxi cab companies. Like you, I have concerns with some of the actions of these TNCs and Uber and Lyft and the actions that they've taken both historically and recently. I mean, we've watched some of those workers over the last couple of years make half as much and work twice as much to get there. And I think there have been problems. But I'm pragmatic as you are, and I think that the TNCs have ingrained themselves firmly into our culture, and I appreciate the conversation that's going on there. The idea that they will go quietly into the good night is, I think, delusional on all of our parts. So I appreciate the conversations that are ongoing with that. I hope everyone continues to negotiate in good faith. I'm optimistic that we can reach some agreement with that. The sixth issue, another difficult issue that requires progress, is trucking. Specifically, I'd like to see explicit recognition of owner-operators in the bill as legitimate independent contractors. Now, and there are those in trucking, as we know, who are not legitimate, that have abused that system. And I've seen it locally and certainly around our ports. Because there are some abusive brokers in this. But I trust that we've all heard the testimony today and that we can work out something. And I know you had mentioned that in your floor statement in the assembly that I listened to when you approved the bill, when the bill was passed. The seventh issue, we need to ensure that the retroactive implications, and I know that was mentioned a minute ago, of AB5 and Dynamex are equitable and just. As the analysis noted, we already have small businesses unjustly suffering from unnecessary litigation. This is not nonsense saber rating from the tort reform set. This is a real case where we have real implications and I believe consequences with that retroactivity in some instances. It can be devastating. I know that was not the purpose of the Dynamex decision, and I know it's not the purpose of AB5. We need to work together to protect businesses that were following the law and are now being swept up in a solution to a problem that they neither created nor were part of in any way. But as Senator Pan said, there are those who under Borrello were abusing the system, abusing the law, and they should pay for that and not get a free pass. Finally, one of the most common questions I get from my constituents around is why the bill looks the way it does. In some cases, the answers are easy and others less so. On a bill this important and as far-reaching, there is a need for maximum transparency and communication on why some occupations are in the bill and some are in others. And I think you adequately explained, as we know, the law already applies to many of those professions and industries as exempt. Some of this will require, I think, additional hearings to flush that out as we go forward. And I want to work with you after the bill leaves this committee today to find that balance between the speed that we need, the efficiency that we want, and the maximum communication so that we can input from all stakeholders, because I think that's important. So many people, what I don't want to see happen with this legislation, and from what I've been listening to and hearing, I mean, a day doesn't go by where I'm sure you're hearing it as well from so many constituencies, so many stakeholders around the state. And what I don't want to do is make the mistake of really, in some cases, really destroying someone's living, or to go forward in a business that they had, if it's the standards and if we're not seeing the abuse that we have, because this could affect people in very painful ways that have existed for many years and have relied on the system as they know it. So with that, I'm certainly ready to support and vote aye and begin the important process of finishing this bill and doing it in a timely manner where we can all sit down and work diligently and aggressively to do that. So, Assembly Member, would you like to close?
Thank you.
And I appreciate, again.
And let me start with what I believe will be the toughest situation, and that's that of truckers. For a variety of reasons. They have filed 2 lawsuits, of course, on this issue already, saying it doesn't
good
apply
point.
to them,
Good point.
which puts us in an awkward
Yes,
position.
yes.
We usually don't intervene when
Yes.
there's a lawsuit going on.
Very true.
So on one hand, we have that. On the other hand, we have people who are acting like they're intermediaries, brokers, but are actually setting rates, setting conditions, even with folks who may own parts of their truck and then have to lease parts of their trucks. So there are so many different situations around trucking, and it's an industry that we know historically has misclassified their workers. I mean, we are where we are today with frustration in the courts, largely because of the trucking industry. And so we know that, and we're continuing to try. So it's tough because in the past, every time a court ruled something with the trucking industry, I don't want to paint them all with one brush, but some of the trucking industry would simply shift their model slightly to fit the fact scenario of that case with employees, which were once employees, buying their own trucks. So we're in this situation of renting their own leasing to buy from the company. I mean, we have so many different situations, and it is one largely created by the trucking companies themselves. And I hate to say that. I feel bad because we don't want, and this is what I said on the floor, is we don't want to penalize somebody who made a $100,000 investment, and we're trying to figure that out. That being said, I know the building trades are in discussion with construction truckers, and we're going to carry on those discussions. We are going to try to get to something, but we have to remember that it's not quite as it appears sometimes when it's being presented. Yeah. So that it's the most difficult one. As far as the 2 times the minimum wage, and maybe we shouldn't talk about the minimum wage, maybe we should set the actual number. The reason that is not meant to be a wage, it is meant to be the cost of a service, because there have been numerous accounting, of course, and we did, in fact, I held hearings and we did a bunch of work on nail salons. And the fact that we know the cost of the service per hour could not meet the minimum wage for that worker. So there's some disconnect there, right? And these are workers who have been largely misclassified as well. And we want to take away that disconnect between the salon owner and the worker, that if you know somebody who is working under some of your control, is offering a service that can't possibly meet the standards of an exempt employee or a wage employee, then that's a problem. It's similar, to be honest, to the TNC discussion, because what I heard today is, of course, Technic sitting here saying, oh, well, we want to get to benefits, but we don't want to be called employees, so we can't go there. There is nothing that ever that suggests in law that they couldn't pay their workers more. You might not be able to offer benefits under and still remain this fiction of an independent contractor relationship, but you sure could pay your workers a lot more. And in many ways, they have the data to know that they are providing services in a way which will not allow that worker to make minimum wage or exempt salary that we would expect for somebody who doesn't have overtime or meal and rest breaks. So we're trying to get at that discussion as well, which is difficult. And we're going to keep working, obviously, on a lot of this stuff. It's difficult, and we probably won't fix it for everybody this time. We will run out of time, and I've never worked harder on a bill, spent more hours on a bill, and yet we're not going to get to every situation we dreamed of. And I anticipate we'll be working on this for a few years to get to those situations. But I do want to talk in particular about the gig economy, because it keeps coming up, and this idea of a compromise keeps. And I have to say very, very clearly that I get it. We want to sit down and we want this economy to exist. But I think when we talk about labor laws, we do have to be technology neutral, and we have to make expectations, because the rising stem of income inequality is largely at the foot of these companies. We have companies that CEOs and COOs are making $45 million a year, $47 million a year. They went public. It's $1 billion corporation. And their drivers, as we hear, are sleeping in their cars. There is something fundamentally wrong when we have compromised or allowed this situation to get to this point. And if a compromise means simply that the workers lose out, or they have some substandard employment status, or some substandard voice at the table that's not actually a collective bargaining agreement in a union, I can't imagine in this bill that I'd be the one to allow that compromise. In fact, I can't imagine I'd ever vote for that type of compromise. Because when it comes to our world working and our democracy working, no democracy can work with this type of income inequality. It can't. We are on the brink of having serious problems with our own democracy in California when you have the wealthy who have become so wealthy. The number of billionaires, they're buying I think the Lyft owner bought a $70 million home the day after a story ran about how many of his workers are sleeping in their cars. Like, where is the compromise? And they can sit here and say they care about their workers and they love to provide benefits. Well, they could have provided them with a lot more money. That we know, and they haven't. And they won't unless we force them to. And that is the way, unfortunately, employment works. And those workers will never have what they expect unless they truly have the protections of collective bargaining agreement. So for the Lyft drivers who came, I feel so bad when workers come and they've been told something by their employees, so they're support if amended, and they want ability. I'll say this. I'd be happy to add into this bill the law as it is today. And that is that it is the employer who provides the flexibility all the time. We heard it from staffing companies. Lyft and Uber today decide whether or not these workers are flexible. They'll decide tomorrow. They'll decide if they're employees. That is in their hands. It is not anything in the law that says you can't be a part-time worker, you can't work 5 hours a week, or you can't work 2 hours here and 3 hours there. There is nothing in our labor law that suggests that, and I'd be happy to put that in here. But I think the workers in this industry should understand that. And the employers in this industry, and that's what they are, the employers should understand that any compromise cannot come at the cost of the worker. And that's what I'm refusing to do in this, and I hope you understand. I'll continue to talk. I've come up with like 5 ways they could work through this. You know, you could have an app that's a staffing hall with all these drivers who are employees of this new staffing agency. I would get, you know, if I could create an app, I would. you can allow them to be employees and give them card check neutrality and allow them to organize without interference, and then you can have a real conversation with the workers who are represented by unions. There are a lot of options for them. We can all be innovative. But let's start with protecting workers and protecting taxpayers by doing it. So with that, I'll respectfully ask for an aye vote.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yes, Senator Jackson.
If I may, and I apologize, too many things going on. The greed that we've seen, I think, has so distorted our reality. At the same time, part of what makes California so great is our entrepreneurship and our creativity and our innovation. So I'm going to support the bill today because I agree with everything that you've said. But I think we got to find that balance. And it's not really the smaller businesses that are a mom and pop and maybe 1 or 2 people that come in on a part-time basis when they need a little extra help. It's these big guys who fight. The battle now is how young can I be to become a billionaire? I mean, we've skewed our sense of priorities and values in this country. And I think the workers are the people who suffer. But somewhere in the middle there's a way, I think of in the 50s and in the 60s when we rebuilt this country after World War II. The tax rate for the highest income people was 90%. After a certain amount of money, after I think it was $2 million, which is not chicken feed, people who made more were taxed at 90%. Nobody wants to pay 90% of their money to the government. So what did they do? They reinvested it in their businesses and in their people, and they created loyalty, and they created efficiencies and competencies, and we don't have that anymore. But we also don't want to put a ceiling on people's innovation. And, I think of some of my fishermen. They got a boat and they want to go out and there are fish out there and they grab a couple people off the deck who are, looking for work, and they go out for 3 or 4 days. They come back with a bunch of fish, and this guy gets 15% and this guy gets, if we say to them, you got to pay for the time they sleep on the boat and the time they do this, most of these guys have a high school diploma. They're fishermen. They're not business people. So I think of people like that. And people who came up and said, support unless amended. Well, they want an exemption. But I don't think the way to go about this, and you know this better than I, and I have to commend you for taking on this puppy. This is not an easy one. Is to some criteria rather than just say we're going to exempt this group and we want to exempt this one and this one. We have to have some kind of standards that are both, it seems to me, both reflective of this newer economy and yet reflective of the fact that it is the middle class that made this country and that will keep this country going. Because if we lose that middle class, we are in big trouble, and we see that happening on a daily basis. So, again, I urge you to keep going. I think this is, it's direction. I'm going to reserve my right as this thing comes forward because, I think we really need to celebrate innovation as well. And I think of some of these platforms. I was hearing about them over the last few days. What is it, like Rabbit and these other, they're platforms. You know what they're the yellow pages. They're the yellow pages on a platform. So it's not like it's a great new idea per se. We used to want to find a plumber, you go to the yellow pages. Now you can go to these various platforms, which I think is great. But the question is, are we going to encourage innovation? Are we going to encourage greed? Are we going to encourage people to look at the people who work for them and respect them and realize they have families and they need to have the opportunity to, we're all for paid family leave. We need that flexibility. So let's find a way that we have that flexibility. At the same time, we respect workers, and I'm not quite sure how we get there. But I commend you for trying, and again, appreciate the opportunity to share my thoughts because this is really a sort of an existential moment for the 21st century, and I really hope that we can come up with something meaningful for everybody. So thank you for bringing the bill.
Thank you, Senator Jackson. We have a motion from Senator Pan. Please call the roll.
The motion is to pass as amended to appropriations. Senator Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Morell. Morell, no. Jackson.
Jackson.
Jackson, aye. Mitchell. Pan.
Aye.
Pan, aye.
With 3 votes, we'll hold the roll open for the absent members. Thank you very much. We'll move now to item number 3, AB 171. Hopefully a little less.
Sorry, I'll try to be very quick.
That's just an easy one. A good one. They're
all good ones. AB 171 is a bill from last year that I reintroduced because vulnerable low-wage workers are still too often left behind in conversations about protecting women in the workplace. Basically, this bill came along because when we did a listening tour of workers, we found out that a lot of women, in particular in the service industry, were having the experience of not wanting to file a lawsuit, but simply going to the supervisor to report actions that were happening. And I'll use this as what we heard, but it was the cook pinching the waitress's butt. And the waitress would go to her supervisor and said, I just want this to stop. Well, rather than she's not filing a lawsuit, so she has no FEHA protections, she would get her schedule changed, she would get fired, and that's how it would stop. And so this would just be a presumption of retaliation if after doing that simple reporting, her job changed, or his, but it's largely her. It's a way to protect low-wage workers who are never going to sue under FEHA and don't have the simple protections, but don't want to be messed with on the job.
Good bill. Thank you. Witnesses in support.
Mr. Chair and members, Caitlin Vega for the California Labor Federation here in support. I would just note this is a rebuttable presumption. We feel that employers have a much greater ability to rebut a presumption than a low-wage worker does to try to meet the burden of proof, especially when most workers can be fired at will. So all the employer has to say is, I fired her because I felt like it, to get out of it being retaliatory. Here, if there's a legitimate reason, it just coincidence that she reported sexual harassment, but there was a legitimate reason, the employer simply has to make that case. We think that's the right balance to ensure that women and men are able to come forward, and in doing so, not only do they have that chance of getting justice, but they are also able to protect the entire workforce. Thank you.
Thank you. Others in support? Mr. Broad.
Mr. Chair, members, Matt Broad. Users and Unite here in support. Thank you.
Jacob Fraker with the National Association of Social Work, California chapter, in strong support.
Thank you very much. Others in support? Thank you.
Jesse Arano, CWA, San Diego, California, in strong support.
Thank you. Very good. Others in support? Anyone here in support? Those in opposition, please come forward. Thank you.
I know you.
Mr. Chair, members, after the California, thank you.
on behalf of the California Chamber of Commerce, we're respectfully opposed to the bill. I'll be brief. You've had a long morning and a long evening last night. We obviously don't condone retaliation against employees. We do have some concerns with the approach taken by this bill. We have a threshold concern with statutory rebuttable presumptions, which we've traditionally opposed. Our fundamental issue, what I want to focus my attention on, is creation of a new body of law related to sexual harassment and retaliation in the labor code as opposed to the government code where the Fair Employment and Housing Act and sexual harassment protections currently reside. We think it's confusing when you have a new body of law in the labor code and a different agency enforcing that body of law, and can result in some inconsistent interpretations between the two. The Fair Employment and Housing Act does cover sexual harassment and retaliation and provide workers with remedies, and we think that's the appropriate place for these to be. We think the governor in his veto message in AB 3081 last year raised this as a concern. There was similarly different legislation in 2017, AB 569, which tried to add different employment discrimination protections to the labor code. Governor Brown vetoed that bill and said employment discrimination should reside in the Fair Employment and Housing Act. So we have concerns based on the placement of the language. And then obviously when you add it to the labor code, it implicates PAGA. And so on top of the fee remedies and the remedies in the labor code that this bill would create, you would also have PAGA violations for this. For those reasons, we're opposed to the bill.
Thank you very much. Others in opposition? Bringing it back to the committee. Questions, comments?
Yeah, sounds good to me. I appreciate this. You know, this kind of misbehavior goes on in the workplace in such staggering percentages that I appreciate the idea that this does create a rebuttable presumption. Unlike the chamber, I think they're probably a good idea. It forces you to come forward, and it forces employers, hopefully it will force employers to think twice about this. It just isn't acceptable. It's not work-related. It's demeaning, it's degrading, it's humiliating to the workers. It actually impacts their ability to do their job. So I would think most employers would want to protect their workers in the workforce, but it's a culture shift that just hasn't happened just because it's logical and makes sense. So I appreciate you bringing the bill. I'll move it. And while I guess one could argue that where's the right place to put it and all, I do think that this is a step forward as we keep reading about the Jeffrey. Peeling back a curtain now that many of us have known has existed for decades. And this, I think, is a good bill, and I appreciate your continuing in this area. I think it's important. The workplace needs to be safe for everybody, and I do move the bill.
Very good. Thank you very much. We will take that motion in a second. I just wanted to clarify that the definition of sexual harassment will be kind of flushed out in approach. We'll take that.
Yes.
The
amendment.
The amendment, yes.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Further discussion? Seeing none, we have a motion from Senator Jackson. Would you like to close?
That's for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. The item number 3, please call the roll.
Motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Hill?
Aye.
Hill, aye. Morrell? Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Mitchell? Pan.
2 votes. We'll hold the roll open. Thank you. We'll move to item number 4, AB 1066. Proceed.
Thank you. AB 1066 is not a new idea. It's something that actually exists in New York and New Jersey. It basically says that workers who are locked out or on strike can access unemployment insurance benefits. It would apply to locked out workers after a week like any other worker. We saw during the grocery worker strike years ago that became a problem. And it would allow striking workers after 4 weeks of being on strike and receiving no funds to access unemployment insurance benefits. These strikes are extremely rare, and often when you get to a 4-week strike, the employer has a disbalance of power and is encouraged to actually just keep workers out so that they will agree to less money because they've been out for so long. People often lose their houses and other things. Unemployment insurance is not an incentive to strike. It's basically half of your income, or $450, whichever is less. Not enough to live in, but it's enough sometimes to not lose your house and not lose your livelihood. So with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Very good. Thank you. Witnesses in support. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Diane Hacker, and I'm a member of UFCW 1428 in Claremont, California. I'm a front-end manager for Vaughn's, and I've been with Vaughn's for 42 years. I'm here to tell you firsthand about being a striking worker and a picket captain during the devastating strike and lockout of 03 and 04, when we walked in the cold and the rain and even during a forest fire to stand up for workplace justice that we deserved. We were locked out or on strike during the holidays. We relied on food banks and churches to put food on our tables on a daily basis. My fellow Vons employees and I were forced to choose between fighting for our jobs and providing for our families. Workers at Ralph's and Albertsons didn't get a choice. Workers came to work, they were ready to work, they were able to work, but their corporate employers chose to lock them out instead. Grocery workers lost their homes they worked their whole lives for. Workers could have continued to work if only the employers had continued to bargain in good faith. One couple who worked with me for Vons had to figure out how to get the necessary medical treatments for their disabled daughter when our health insurance ran out, treatments that she could not do without. Striking is always a last resort for work, standing up for fair treatment and safe workplace conditions. Unemployment benefits don't replace a paycheck, but they will help keep our heads afloat when one missed paycheck could drown us. The grocery stores know that if they hold us out long enough, we will have to agree to their demands in order to feed our families and keep a roof over our heads. When workers are already living paycheck to paycheck, a month-long strike could devastate a family, and that's what the corporate bosses are counting on. Unemployment benefits will level the playing field between workers and their employers, giving us the ability to fight for the basic dignity of fair wages and health coverage without having to worry about becoming homeless. No one should be treated with the cold, heartless disrespect that we saw during the winter of 03 and 04. Please support AB 1066. Thank
you very much. Appreciate your testimony this afternoon. Others in support? Good afternoon.
Hello there. Good afternoon, Chairman Hill, honorable members of the Senate. Appreciate you guys having us here. Thank you very much. My name is Jesse Arana. I've worked for AT&T for almost going on 20 years. Member of CWA Union Local 9509 in San Diego. And just wanted to let you guys know, right now, under current law, workers in California, including CWA members, are not eligible for unemployment benefits if they leave work due to a trade dispute. This ineligibility creates an incentive for employers to delay negotiations and put forward unreasonable terms. The longer the dispute, the greater chance the worker's own financial hardship will force them back to work. AB 1066 would restore eligibility for unemployment benefits to striking workers after 4 weeks have passed. This bill would bring California in line with other states like New Jersey and New York. That offers similar benefits to striking workers. While unemployment insurance benefits only cover a fraction of a worker's paycheck, these modest payments would help workers make ends meet as bargaining is prolonged. By removing the possibility of extreme financial hardship during a trade dispute, AB 1066 will create a more level playing field between employers and employees. Many of our CWA members have worked for their companies for years and deserve access to these unemployment benefits, especially when the companies are purposely delaying negotiation. We are simply asking for the ability to fight for our rights without having to compromise on essentials like rent and food. This bill is crucial to making sure we are treated fairly on both sides, are able to negotiate in good faith, and wanted to thank you guys for your time and consideration. I urge you guys for your support in this measure.
Thank you very much. Then. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, Mitch Steiger with California Labor Federation, proud to co-sponsor this bill along with CWA and UFCW for all the reasons stated so well by the author and previous witnesses. Just wanted to briefly cover what the bill doesn't do. We really don't think the bill in any way fundamentally alters the UI system. All it does is better align the intent of the UI system with the way that it works out in practice, where we're trying to make sure that not just individual workers are taken care of when they lose their jobs, but also that their surrounding communities also don't suffer the impact of especially a lot of people losing their job at once, and that's why this approach has been upheld by courts in other states. It also doesn't create any kind of an incentive to strike. When you look at the way this would actually work in practice, it starts with that month disqualification, that's a month with no wages, and then the benefits that start after that that are some of the lowest in the country. On average, UI benefits are about 26% of what you were earning. And so we're talking about a system where you earn nothing for a month and then a quarter of what you were earning, on top of all the other reasons why workers don't want to go on strike. It's a grueling, devastating experience. It's a lot of time on a picket line. It's a lot of organizing in daycare, and it's not fun, and it's not a decision that workers make lightly. So when you add that on top of the very low benefits and the month disqualification, there's really nothing here that's going to create an incentive to strike. And that's why EDD estimates that the cost of this is so low, and that's why it doesn't create any kind of a solvency risk. The estimate is that this would add somewhere on the high end of 0.1% to the cost of the UI system to, on the low end, 0.01% to the cost of the UI system. So it's not in any way going to not in any way going to worsen the existing structural insolvency issues that we've got in the UI system that existed long before this bill. They'll keep going until we deal with those separately. But the impact of it is small because these strikes are so rare. But the impact of the individual worker would be great in terms of allowing them to help stay afloat during such a devastating, long-lasting strike. And we urge your support.
Very good. Thank you. Others in support? And
Mr. Chair and member, Matt Broad for the Teamsters and Unite here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Support.
In support. I figured as much. Thank you.
Angela Wilmus, UFCW, support.
Thank you.
David Bell Hawkins, representing the CSU Employees Union, support.
Thank you.
Jessica Cry, UFCW Local 5, in support.
Thank you very much for coming today.
Claire Courtney, UFCW, in support.
Thank you.
Vivian Mosqueda, UFCW, in support.
Thank you very much.
Tony Vargas, UFCW Local 5, San Francisco, in support.
Thank you.
Mike Dupre, Oakley, CWA 9119, UPD 184, retiree, and veteran, in support.
Thank you, sir.
Michelle Palacios, CWA 9415, in support.
Thank you.
Sarah Cohen, UPD CWA Local 9119, in support.
Thank you very much.
Jim Hawkridge, El Sobrani, Contra Costa County, and I am in support.
Thank you.
Adam Wood, San Francisco Firefighters, Local 798, in support.
Thank you very much.
Sonia Moscardon from San Francisco, CWA 9119, and UPT in full support.
Thank you very much.
Amber Bauer, UFCW Western States Council, in support.
Thank you.
Good morning, afternoon. Sean James, CWA 9415, Oakland, in full support.
Thank you very much for coming today.
Ernie Pacheco, CWA 9415, Hayward, in support.
Thank you.
Paul Brooks, up to CWA 9119, Contra Costa County, in support.
Thank you very much.
Alfred Barbosa, CWA 9421, in support, and also a veteran. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe Martinez, CWA Local 9410, out of San Francisco, in support.
Thank you.
Winter Britton, CWA 9415, in support.
Thank you very much.
Gregory Banks, CWA 9415, out of Oakland, in support.
Thank you.
James Walker, CWA 9415, in support, and a veteran.
Thank you very much.
David Jackson, CWA 9415, in support.
Thank you.
Jason Orozco, CWA 9408 in Fresno, in support.
Thank you very much.
Sean Merchant, 9432, CWA, out of Placerville, in support.
Thank you.
Eric Lindberg, CWA 9421, Sacramento, in support.
Thank you.
Joshua Coleman, local CWA 9421, Sacramento, in support.
Thank you very much.
Marshall Irving, CWA 9415, in support. I
Thank
approve
you.
this message. Thank you.
Juan Cervantes, Salinas, California, UFCW, local 5. I support AB, yes on it.
Thank you.
Jim Abbey, UFCW, local 5, in support of AB 1066.
Thank you very much.
Nancy Anderson, UFCW Local 5, in support.
Thank you.
Simone Williams with UFCW Local 5, Hayward, in support.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ryan McGilly, the UFCW Local 5, in support.
Thank you.
Bruce Lean, UFCW Local 5, in support.
Thank you very much.
Megan Stanzak with Local 5, UFCW, in support.
Thank you.
Derek Steele, UFCW Local 8, in support.
Thank you very much.
Matt Kristoff, UFCW 8, in support.
Very good. Thank you.
Sean Raycraft, Local 8, in support.
Thank you.
Nicole Trujillo Rice, UFCW Local 8, in support.
Thank you.
Paul Lowney, UFCW 8, in support.
Thank you.
Elisa Hardy, UFCW 8, in support.
Thank you very much.
Stephanie Brown, UFCW 8, in support.
Thank you.
Roger Dean, Communication Workers of America, Local 9431, in support.
Thank you very much for coming.
Cole Anderson, USW 5, in support.
Thank you.
Adrian Acosta, Communication Workers of America, District 9, in support.
Thank you.
Jessica Ramirez, CWA District 9, in support.
Thank you very much.
Brad Rozier, CWA 9421, in support.
Thank you.
Eric Brown, CWA 9421, in support.
Thank you.
Gilbert Davila, UFCW Local 324, Orange County, in support.
Thank you very much for coming today. Good afternoon, sir.
Jason Chung, UFCW 1428, San Bernardino, Los Angeles County.
Thank you.
In support.
Karina Woodson, Local CWA Local 9400, Northern and Southern California, in support.
Very good. Thank you very much. Anyone else in support? See no one. Opposition, please come forward and make a little room there. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. Committee chair, members, and apologies for, sorry you have to be here this long. I'll try to be as quick as I can. Rob Mutri, Cal Chamber, and we are opposed to AB 1066. First, I want to clarify something that was said. I believe there's a discussion of lockouts. It's my understanding presently that lockouts at this point already, the unemployment is available. It's not our intention to have a discussion about that or to fight that, but I understood that to already be the law. So it stated earlier, I just want to clarify, that's not what our opposition is about. So turning to that, the other thing that our opposition is not about is benefits to strikers generally. If the state wants to pass, an equivalent of one of the benefit programs that does not put the burden on employers in a labor dispute, that would not be an issue for us. We are sympathetic to that. Our concern is just with the mechanics of this. And turning to one other comment raised just now as to whether this is change of unemployment. Unemployment, by its title, is a balance, right? It's an assistance. The employer is incentivized to keep employees on if they're doing well, and if you terminate them without a reason, you will pay to help them find another opportunity, right? And in the same way, the employee under current law is required to be looking for work and able to take that work so that they can receive that transitory help to help them find the right spot, right? That is what unemployment has been. So I'm going to have to disagree with whether or not this is a change to unemployment, because this is not a worker who is looking for work and in transition. This is a labor dispute, which I don't think is... it shouldn't be a surprise. It is a profound change. Only a few states do this. Now, turning to our concerns about it. First, we remain concerned this places an unpredictable and considerable risk for employers. Now, while we are appreciative of the data regarding relative shortness of strikes, and we also hope that strikes are brief and resolved quickly and amicably, absolutely, our concern rests that if a strike is not, instead of having 1 or 2 or 3 workers going on unemployment in a given period, all of a sudden we're adding hundreds. The entire union is now on unemployment, which is a significant concern to the business community in a macro sense. And while I appreciate the point that individual workers, this is not much of a payment to, right? And that is the state's choice regarding the amount of unemployment it provides. On a macro sense, if you're an employer with thousands of those, that's a little different. Secondarily, it's important to remember this affects even employers who are not having labor disputes, right? Because of the way UI fund is structured, our concern is that this will raise the rates for even on employers who have never had a labor dispute. And as to the data regarding the solvency of the UI fund, we're glad, we hope that it does not affect it. However, we still have concerns that given California's ranking, as of 2018, the Department of Labor ranked California's UI fund health as last in the nation. We still have concerns that even small changes here is significant to us staying in the black. For those reasons, we are opposed, and hopefully that was brief enough.
That was very nice. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. Nicole Rice, California Manufacturers and Technology Association. We too are opposed to the bill, and basically we just have a fundamental disagreement of the policy expansion in this bill. We know that two other states have attempted this, but based upon where California has been, our history with this, the fact that employers pay 100% into this fund, we just have a fundamental disagreement about this policy expansion. We, as in the Manufacturer Association, we have labeled this a manufacturing breaker bill because we were at the table for the negotiations related to our deep recession a couple of years ago. We have just come out of that, and there were, as previous testimony indicated, there is still some work that needs to be done related to the solvency of the fund. But we are concerned that, again, as a 100% employer-funded benefit program, that there's nothing in the bill to really ensure that the employer's investment into that fund is protected and that the solvency of the fund is protected. So no discussions about that. We're also concerned about the fact that labor strikes are about negotiations. It's not about employment termination. And that is the criteria for the unemployment insurance fund, that you are permanently separated from your employment through no fault of your own. Other things that aren't included in this bill is the number of people who actually, what is it termed to actually be on strike? If somebody decides to stand with the individuals who are on strike, does that mean that they're eligible for unemployment insurance also, even though their union might not necessarily be involved in those negotiations? There are just a lot of questions and a lot of elements that are not covered in this bill, again, to address the employer's investment into this fund. Two additional points are, first of all, we have had in the past, as I said, a situation where we've had the fund completely depleted and needed to go to the federal government for assistance in order to keep those benefits flowing. The situation, the current relationship that California has, and this is a real concern for us as employers, the current relationship that California has, if we got into that situation where we would need a federal loan in order to keep unemployment and benefits going to those individuals who actually need them, will we have the relationship if the current administration stays to be able to have those resources available to Californians? My understanding is that's not necessarily a guarantee that needs to be granted. That request needs to be granted, so we're concerned about that. Also, traditionally, when the policymakers in California have taken from one particular resources or pot of resources to provide for different or an expand for different purposes or an expansion of purposes, that ultimately the health of that original fund needs to be addressed. So we're concerned about whether or not we're going to get to a situation where we're going to have to look at putting more resources from employers into that fund in order to address the activity in the fund. The last thing I want to point out is that while there has been a discussion about we haven't seen many of these strikes occurring, the committee's own analysis demonstrates that there has been an uptick in strikes. And so to the extent that we continue to see that type of volume, an increase in volume, then again, I think our concerns as employers about the health of the fund and the impact that that will have on us, the fund resource providers, if you will, becomes a real issue. So for those reasons and unanswered questions, we are respectfully opposed to the bill.
Very good. Thank you. Others in opposition, please come forward. Seeing no one, we get back to the committee. Questions, comments, or concerns? Senator Pan.
So, thank you, Senator Gonzalez, for bringing this bill forward. Certainly understand the challenges faced by workers who are, who really are trying to fight for their rights. But can you the opposition raised, the health of the fund,
Sure.
and so we know during the Great Recession we had some challenges there, so we want to be sure that also workers who are laid off, which hopefully doesn't happen, but and part of the reason people also have labor disputes is to try to prevent things like that from happening, but also is to be sure that the fund is there for the people also who may be employed. So can you maybe speak to, are there things that you've looked at to try to figure out how we provide those protections and be sure that the fund is there for all the people to that need it?
Well, we've worked with EDD for the last, to be honest, 3-4 years in trying to bring this forward and held off until the fund was in better shape because it applies to so few workers in such rare circumstances. EDD does not feel like it's going to be an additional pressure to the fund. The problems with the fund are the problems with the fund, and I think that we all agree that needs to be addressed. But this wouldn't this would be such an extraordinary circumstance that it would not have an additional. It's not going to be the tipping point on it, and so we brought it in when we were out of kind of that situation with the federal government, but yet the fund is in a better spot.
So that's helpful to know that EDD's looked at this and said that the in terms
And
of,
they told us to hold off 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and so we did. No.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'd be happy to move the bill at the
Thank you.
appropriate time.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Pan. And, and I agree with some of the concerns that were raised, and I think it's an important issue. The 4 weeks is, I think, a significant amount of time when you look at that, and the reality that at that point an employer could know that they would hold out, and sometimes that's just not the best way or the fair way to deal with it. So appreciate we do have a motion from Senator Pan. Would you like to close?
Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you very much. This is item number 4, AB 1066. Please call the roll.
The motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Morel. Morel, no. Jackson. Mitchell. Pan.
Aye.
Senator Pan, aye.
Very good. The bill has 2 votes. We'll hold the roll open
Thank
for
you.
the absent members. Item number 6, AB 1681.
This is my easy one. Maybe we can
Yes.
even get Mr. Morell on this one. I don't know, though. Not sure. I don't want to. This is a simple clarification for supervisory school officers, peace officers at schools who want their own bargaining unit. Right now, you have to have 20 or more of those officers. I think there's only one school district in the state that would satisfy that. We want to reduce that collective bargaining unit to 2 or more officers. That's all this does.
Witnesses in support.
Hi, my name is PJ Webb, and I represent the Specialized Police Association Coalition with POREC, the Peace Officers Research Association of California. We very much, see the need for this bill. This helps level the playing field for a lot of these folks. Some of them are designated as unrepresented at all, so they're really at the whim of management, and it really discourages promotion. They actually would, many of them lose pay and benefits when they promote to supervisory positions. So I respectfully ask for your support and available to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you very much. Other witnesses in support. Is there any witnesses in opposition? Seeing and hearing none, bringing it back to the committee. We do have a motion from Vice Chair Morell. We'll take the motion. Would you like to close? That's very nice. That is a close. That's for all of us. Please call the roll.
The motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Morel.
Aye.
Morel, aye. Jackson. Mitchell. Pan.
Aye.
Senator Pan, aye.
Bill has 3 votes. We'll hold the roll open for absent members. Thank you very much. We'll now move to item number 5, AB 1400, Assemblymember Kamlager Dove. Thank you for your patience. And for this wonderful bill. This really is it turned into a, I think it's wonderful. I am excited about it, and I think there was a problem that we know exists, and I think this is a good solution to get to the heart of the meat and the heart of it and solve it. So thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. I am presenting Assembly Bill 1400, which will ensure that there are mitigation strategies in place when a city, county, or special district directs fire support service employees to an incident. First, the bill requires the creation of emergency regulations for the provision of emergency firefighting equipment on outdoor fires. AB 1400 ensures frontline support fire personnel receive proper protective equipment and post-field decontamination procedures following a fire response. This means the fire service personnel have a thorough and aggressive decontamination strategy following a fire event to control contamination and remove hazardous substances. These fire service employees serve in county fire service outfits and local governments across California and are known as fire mechanics, fire equipment mechanics, and other mechanic workers. These populations of workers are sometimes called directly to the front lines of active fires to maintain and repair fire equipment that is used by our firefighters. This was the case in 2017 and 2018, respectively, when the Thomas and Woolsey fires ravaged communities in LA, Santa Barbara, and Ventura counties. Fire mechanics represented by AFSCME spent over a week on the fire lines alongside our firefighters without the same equipment, the protective gear, and controlled breathing apparatuses meant to mitigate firefighters' exposure risk to carcinogens. They are vital to increasing efficiency and response time of any firefighting operations. Secondly, AB 1400 creates CalOSHA regulations that set a permissible exposure limit for diesel particulate as per California Department of Public Health recommendations. You know, firefighters are exposed to diesel exhaust both in the station as equipment starts up and leaves and enters the station, and in the field as the equipment is idling. Unique to many firefighters is that they both work and live in the fire station, sometimes for periods of 24 or 48 hours longer, which increases the potential duration of exposure overall harmful effects of diesel particulate matter. Finally, the bill mandates that the Commission on Health and Safety and Workers' Compensation, in partnership with the County of LA, will submit a study on the exposure and cancer risk of firefighter mechanics. I will tell you that my visit with LA Fire Service employees who repair and maintain the fire service vehicles was heart-rending and sobering to see the work that they do every day, putting their lives on the line, and watching them tell me that the way that they decontaminate, you know, is by taking their clothes home with them and washing them in the washing machine, the same washing machine that they're using to wash their children's clothes. And using a mask that any one of us can buy at Home Depot or Lowe's to keep out the particulate matter. So with that, I will allow Gary Hodges, a fire equipment mechanic from LA County, to speak on this bill, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Chair and Committee, for being able to hear people in my genre today. We work diligently with the fire department to keep the fire apparatus in service. That's the helicopters, the fire trucks, and every apparatus that's supported thereof. Part of the process of doing our job, we are continuously exposed on a daily basis to the carcinogens and the unknown material that the firefighters actually are presented with. The issue that we come across is, though, that when a firefighter goes to an incident, they have their process when they're exposed to that one carcinogen or that exposure limit. When we see the apparatus, even at the fire shop, that fire apparatus might be out on 50 different fires. So there's a layer of different exposure or carcinogens that we're exposed to on a daily basis. We don't have any preventative measure, and that's why we're so deeply appreciative, 119 deeply appreciative of the Assemblywoman's work, hearing our voice, and this committee, and supporting legislation that would come out and create a standard. That way CalOSHA can be involved, that there would be some kind of precedent that would be set forth to ensure that we could mitigate some of these exposures. That way the people in our bargaining unit, our people that are not unionized, will have a chance to be protected. Ultimately, we do not want anyone to come down with cancer. That's the whole premise behind this. And we just are so grateful for the fact that you guys are actually hearing us and taking up our cause.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I'd also like to thank the Assemblywoman for taking on this very important piece of legislation.
Please identify yourself.
Oh, my name is Brian Allison with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. Thank you, sir. For the record. I just wanted to also thank the chair, the committee, and staff for being willing to work with us on this very important piece of legislation. And I'd also like to thank the chair for being willing to join on as a co-author, and for this committee for committing to continuing to work with us to refine issues that may come up in the interim as we continue to move this bill through the legislative process. Just quickly, the language in AB 1400 as outlined by the Assemblywoman as well as Mr. Hodge reflects the progress that's made this legislative session, informing legislators about the hazardous working conditions that our members are going through in these situations. These often overlooked civilian fire mechanics support our firefighters, as has been said, with devastating wildfires impacting our community, getting bigger and deadlier every year. We think this represents a responsible commitment to proactively mitigating exposure to what we know are known carcinogens and carcinogenic material resulting from firefighting operations that gets on the material and on the vehicles that our firefighters use and are left for our fire mechanics and local jurisdictions to handle. As mentioned by the author, the amendments that were taken on July 2nd take some very critical steps in moving forward and accomplishing this goal. The emergency regulations are critical before January 1st to ensure that mechanics responsible for maintaining and repairing firefighting equipment and vehicles, either at an active fire site or in their repair stations, receive appropriate and effective safety equipment. Secondly, the permanent regulations this bill seeks to adopt by 2021 will take an important step, we believe, in ensuring that the repair stations that these workers spend 40+ hours a week in are safe, more hospitable working environments for these workers. And we believe that includes the proper equipment, things like procedures and equipment to evacuate known carcinogens like diesel exhaust, the permissible exposure limit that's mentioned. These are critical steps. We believe that this is also what we are moving is consistent with the National Fire Protection Association's standards for protective gear as well. And then finally, by requiring the Commission on Health, Safety, and Workers' Compensation to conduct a study at repair sites in conjunction with LA County and with AFSCME, the union representing the workers, we believe that this is a comprehensive approach to collect the data that's necessary to begin to continue to tell the story about how we propose good policy prescriptions that mitigate exposure and provide compensation for those who truly do need it. So on behalf of the 19 members who have come down in a 60-person unit in LA County with cancer that is linked to occupational exposure, we thank you for the work that's been done on this bill, and we would respectfully ask for an vote.
Very good. Thank you very much. Others in support?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, Mitch Steiger with the California Labor Federation, also in support.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Harry Wong, LA County Fire Mechanic. I support this bill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wong. Anyone else in support? Is there anyone here in opposition? I would hope not. But thank you. Bringing it back to the committee. Yes, Senator Pan.
Thank you, and I want to thank you, Assemblywoman Doug, for bringing this forward. I, too, had the chance to hear some of the stories from the fire mechanics, and certainly as a physician was hearing about, the masks they're talking about will not protect them against the types of exposures that they've got. So I know you talked about the clothes being washed at home and so forth. They need these protections, and so I certainly am in very strong support of this bill and want to move it at the appropriate time. And thank you so much for bringing it forward.
Other discussion, comments? Seeing none. No, and I agree. The comments that we heard in the meetings we had was so compelling and really identified a potential problem. It seems that there may be one, but there was really no mechanism in place to protect those workers going forward, or today or tomorrow when they are wherever it is, whether at the scene of a fire or even in the station working on equipment to make sure that it's safe for those firefighters who are taking the down. So it's an excellent bill, and I appreciate the conversations, being able to work together to come up with a solution that going forward, and it's wonderful. And I'm really happy to be a co-author of that as well. So thank you. We do have a motion from Senator Pan. Would you like to close, Assembly Member?
I just want to thank you for the opportunity, and you, Mr. Chair, and your staff for working with us to make this bill stronger and better. The men in this unit tried for years to actually get folks to come in and help do a study, and every single time they placed a call, they were denied. They said, we are not coming out because we don't want to even risk having our staff contract something. And so that just goes to show you how important this is and how under such grave conditions they work, really to make sure that they're keeping us safe. So with that, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. This is item number 5, AB 1400. Please call the roll.
Motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Morrell. Jackson. Aye. Jackson, aye. Mitchell. Pan. Aye. Pan, aye.
Very good. Thank you. 3 votes. We'll hold the roll open for the absent members. Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much. So we will go back to the top. Is she coming back? She's on her way. So we will go through the roll, beginning with item number 1, AB 5. Okay, we will start with item number 2, AB 35. Please call the absent members.
Motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Morrell. No. Morrell, no. Mitchell.
Okay, the bill still has 3 votes. We'll hold the roll open. Item number 3, AB 171. Please call the absent members.
The motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Morrell? No. Morrell, no. Mitchell? Pan?
Aye.
Pan, aye.
Bill has 3 votes. We'll hold the roll open. Item number 4, AB 1066. Please call the absent members.
The motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Jackson? Aye. Jackson, aye. Mitchell?
We'll hold the roll open for the absent members there. Item number 6, AB 1681. Please call the absent members.
The motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Morrell? Senator Mitchell?
Item number 6. Very good. So we'll hold the roll open there for the absent members as well. So thank you very much.
We need to do
Number 6, that's what it, that was number 6.
I just thought we were doing, okay. So, it stays the
Did we
same.
do all of them? Everyone's here, who's here now for item number 5. So I went to item number 6.
Okay, 5 is Mitchell and Senator Morrell, and they're gone.
Okay.
Mitchell's on item 6, I got confused. Oh, we didn't.
Item number 6, you did.
Yes, I have
Yes,
you as
we'll
a-
go to item number 6, AB 1681. Please call
The
the
motion
absent
is due pass to appropriations. Senator Jackson? Aye. Jackson, aye. Mitchell? Okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a busy one. Thank you, Senator Jackson. You're welcome, always. So We will now call the absent members. Item number 1, AB 5. Please call the absent member.
The motion is due pass as amended to appropriations. Senator Mitchell? Aye. Mitchell, aye. It has 4 votes.
Bill has 4 votes. It is out. Item number 2, AB 35. Please call the absent members.
The motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Mitchell? Aye. Mitchell, aye.
That bill is out. Item number 3, AB 171. Please call the absent members.
Motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Mitchell? Aye. Mitchell, aye.
That bill is out. Please, item number 4, AB 1066. Please call the absent member.
The motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Mitchell? Aye. Mitchell, aye.
And that bill is out. Item number 5, AB 1400. Please call the absent member.
Motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Mitchell? Aye. Mitchell, aye.
Bill has 4 votes. It is out. Item number 6, AB 1681. Please call the absent member.
Motion is due pass to appropriations. Senator Mitchell? Aye. Mitchell, aye.
And that bill is out as well. Thank you. That concludes the business of the Labor, Public Employment, and Retirement Committee hearing for today. We are adjourned.